Greetings, Kooplings, and welcome to the Play Some Video Games podcast. My name's Donnie Reese, and I'm joined by the only co-host that I'm usually joined on any day anymore these days, Delvin Cox. Fancy seeing you here again.
What's up, brother? That was the most depressing intro we've had in podcast.
It's going to be a depressing show.
Yes,
I felt bad.
Goddamn, Kyle the Pug talking about some. I need some entertainment. Fuck your entertainment, Kyle. We're not here for your. We're not your goddamn clowns to amuse you. This is our sad podcast. We go in a vent, complain, and bitch about things. You want entertainment? Take that shit to Shaq.
Well, speaking of Shaq, we're going to record on Friday night. For any Kooplings out there that listen to PSVG, we haven't said that yet, but we're going to record on Friday. So, because Rebecca's out this week, so we're going to record on Friday night so Delvin and I can reclaim our weekends.
Yes.
And that'll be nice and get that out of the way. Hopefully, you don't miss any earth-shattering. Watch them announce the new Switch on Saturday.
I'm going to say Saturday morning. I'm going to new Switch.
I'm going to be like, you better get your ass back here.
Oh, man.
What's up, man?
Man, it's been a week. It's been a long week, you know.
I have much to say on that topic for sure. I feel you there.
Recording a lot, and when I'm not recording, I'm in and out of hospitals, and not for me. I'm healthy.
Again?
Yeah.
What is with all these hospitals?
People in my family sickly. I'm the only one who's not sickly. Like even now,
man,
like Friday, I have to go
back
to the hospital for my grandmother because she's having surgery. So I got to be doing that Friday morning, and that's gonna be my weekend too, and that's gonna lead into my. Yes, it's a long, tiring week to say the least. But I'm okay. I'm still alive.
Well, that's good. That's good. Dev is on the way, we think. He says he's on the way. Maybe. We'll see if he shows up.
Might be a Rebecca thing. Don't leave. He's coming.
Don't leave. Stay to the end. Don't leave us. Don't give up on us yet. All right. So, Delvin, what you been playing, man?
I've barely been playing anything. I've just been playing Tears of the Kingdom. That's the main thing I've been playing. Just like trying to get this other dragon scale so I can upgrade the champion armor. That's the main thing I've been doing, really.
I don't think I ever went that far with that armor set.
Yes, they say that's the strongest one. So I said, let me upgrade that one. I got one of the dragon scale. I didn't get one more. Then I can upgrade that one. And yeah, I got the master sword already.
Is that the one that like regenerates like your gloom hearts?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I didn't do that one, and I should have. That was like that was like my lasting hint for everybody else. I was like, I don't know whatever does that, but get that. Like that comes in handy. Get that.
I gotta find that one too.
Yeah, do that. Do that first. That's helpful.
That seems important.
The end of that game, that would have been helpful. I was like, oh, yeah, that would have helped.
Yeah,
I could have used that. I was selling armor to make like thousands of meals and stuff, like cheese stuff.
Oh, I got a fun little story.
Let's do it.
So, this past week, you know, after we recorded Decade of Horror.
Yeah, that's another thing we dropped. Hopefully you guys liked it.
Yeah, I hope people watched it this time. It was a really good episode. I recommended it to some people. They liked it.
Dude, I was pretty toasted by the end of that thing.
Yes. It's worth it just for that.
I drank maybe a bit too much. I didn't realize it until the next day, and then I was editing it, and I was like, I don't remember half of this shit. like I was just going there towards the end.
But doing that show, well, one, someone asked me to be on their podcast to talk about one of my favorite horror movies. So I talked about Us.
Nice.
And
good movie too.
Two, because of that, I got to watch Us with my girlfriend who hates horror movies.
Oh, yeah?
She's scared of all.
Us is a good one to watch, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. And we laid down in the bed together watching TV, and we watched Us, and she really enjoyed it.
Nice.
So much, she wants to see Get Out now.
And I was going to ask you, which one do you like most?
Out of those three, I think I like Us the most. Get Out, then Nope. And I like Nope too. Nope.
I like Nope a lot. He's had a really great start. I think out of the three, I think Us would be my least favorite, but I don't know which one my favorite is because I liked Nope a lot. I would have to I might have to rewatch them.
I think I am too. I'm going to end up rewatching them because my girl.
Nope is one of my favorite Alien movies.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's up there. It's up there with Alien and Signs, and Nope.
Good. It's really, really good. And
yeah,
because my girl liked Us so much, she wants to watch Get Out, and she likes Keke Palmer, so she wants to watch Nope. So I guess every time we get together now, we're going to watch one of those movies.
Nice. Well, I've got one for you that maybe you can help me with.
Okay.
I was informed today that my in-laws are coming to Halloween.
Okay.
Every year when we do Halloween, we do trick-or-treating, and then I usually put, I have a movie theater that I put up in the driveway, and we usually watch an old movie and order pizza. It's kind of like our family tradition.
Okay.
I now need to select a horror movie that's not only appropriate for my kids, but something that my in-laws might like as well.
You're going to hear my shocking answer. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, they're not. That's a no. That's a quick no.
It's not scary.
It doesn't have anything to do. It's just the implied horror. I think I need to go comedy with this one now. Now that my in-laws are coming, my wife's mother can't do any of this. She's the tamest of tame.
So nothing scary.
But yeah, horror. Not even bloody, or even here's the thing. I think she would be offended by anything that's even just too evil.
So can I go campy then? Campy, dumb, not really horror?
So my choice that I was going with, the one that I've saved all year long, was Evil Dead 2.
That ain't gonna work.
Right? That's literally my plan has been ruined. See, I was thinking of Shaun of the Dead, John 32. That was on my mind.
That could work, but that one's even violent. So I'm trying to think of something that's non-threatening. The first thing that came to my mind was Monster Squad or some shit like that.
Monster Squad. Yeah, I don't want to watch Monster Squad again. I like it. I don't like it that much.
I'm trying to think what else is a scary movie that you can watch for kids that's inoffensive.
And maybe they just don't watch the movie. Maybe they just go inside. It'd be late for them anyway. We usually don't get started until about 9. That might be part of it as well. I don't know. It just hit me. So I'm maybe Little Shop of Horrors.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I could probably get away with that. My daughter would like it. It's not a bad idea. I haven't watched that one in a while too. It's been a couple years.
It's not offensive. It's a musical. So they'll probably dig the music of it. And it's not really violent. It's not in
we
terms
watched
of
The Lost Boys last year.
Yeah, Lost Boys would be good, but even
your Young Frankenstein, maybe.
That's a classic.
But I like the idea of Little Shop of Horrors the most. Maybe that'll be the one.
That sounds like a good one.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. I might think about it. If anybody wants to think of me, or Hocus Pocus, I mean that's a classic. Could always go with that one. Yeah. I just feel like I've seen that movie 12 times. You know?
Yeah, see, when you say that, I try to think of movies that kind of represent Halloween to me. And I like Little Shop of Horror a lot, but I don't feel like it's a Halloween type movie.
Same. Yeah. It's a musical. I don't know. And I may I love the idea. It hit me for just a moment. I was I have the opportunity to show them something. You know, I have the opportunity to put something in the DVD player that they will give a try. So part of me wants to pick something really good. You know, maybe I could tempt them. Maybe I could interest them. Just nothing comes to mind. When I think of my favorite horror movies, I'm they're going to hate everything. They're the type that if somebody says the F word, they're ugh.
Even stuff that's not scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're prudish.
I got to tell you, John 32, I don't think Get Out's going to get over with this crowd. At all.
What that would do is that would cause a fight between my daughter and her grandfather.
Yes. That's the first thing I thought of. That's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll keep thinking about it.
I would love to Before Christmas.
No, that's been overplayed. I've seen it too much. I was thinking of The Witch, but The Witch is such a slow burn. I don't think they'd be there for it. My father-in-law he likes dumb jokes and fart noises and stuff like that. He needs constant entertainment to keep his attention. You can't go very deep with him. It'll be lost on him.
I'm trying to think. See, the things that have like the dumb jokes and stuff like that.
Like Zombieland.
Zombieland might work.
Could maybe do something like that.
Gremlins, that's a good choice. Gremlins is not bad.
We did Gremlins last year. So I'll keep thinking about it. There's no point in doing a whole podcast. It's going to be a long podcast as it is. There's no point in doing a whole podcast on it. It's just something that came up. So you and your girlfriend liked Us. I like Us a lot too. It's very good.
Us is a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Peele movies are excellent. I can't wait till the next one. Actually, that's one of the.
I wanted more from the ending on Us. It's my lasting thing on that.
Yeah.
What is his next movie? Is he?
I have no idea.
Ooh, John 32 hits Tremors. Tremors good.
That's a good one.
That's not a bad one.
Be a winner.
It's a good pick, man. Tremors might be it. I like that one. I like Tremors a lot too, and I haven't seen Tremors in a little while. And it's kind of horror, but not really a horror movie.
Yeah. Isn't it like 5 Tremors movies now?
Oh yeah, that thing got more sequels than like Texas Chainsaw. Like, they just kept making Tremors movies. Sci-Fi at some point I felt like just made Tremors movies.
Yeah, I think they did one where they brought back the cast or something like that.
Oh, that'd have been cool. The Kevin Bacon and stuff.
Yeah, I think.
Didn't the other guy die?
I think so.
Yeah, I think the other guy died. Rest in peace. I don't even know his name. Just the other guy. Kevin Bacon and that other guy. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about.
Yes, we do.
So, yeah. All right. But not playing anything? Just more Breath of the Wild?
Just Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, sorry.
I did the, which this is my first time doing it. I did the Switch thing, the Switch voucher thing.
Ooh. What'd you pick up?
Mario Wonder.
Yep.
And Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the games and the other
game. Got Wario.
See, the thing about Wario is it's $49.99.
Ah, I see. So you're like, I'm not giving them that $10.
Exactly. I want
y'all.
I want all my money. I am getting 2 $60 games.
I think I told you this on Shack, but I'm not doing the vouchers anymore.
Oh, why are you not doing the vouchers?
Because Best Buy, they did their program where if you buy their cheapest plan, like their subscription plan, it's like $50 a year. They have buy 2 get 1 free on all Switch games, like indefinitely. That's just a perk they have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did mention.
So I started buying my games physically. I was like, okay. So like
do that then.
I got Wonder and WarioWare, and that got me Metal Gear for free. And then I'm planning on getting Peach and something else to get Thousand Year Door for free. I'm just waiting for Thousand Year Door pre-orders to go live. But that's a pretty sweet deal. And like, you also get like discounts and stuff like with Best Buy and like a warranty service and 2-day shipping and all that. So I feel like the $50 up front isn't a bad deal. Like if you're going to buy, again, it's really just for like us that buy a lot of games. But if you take advantage of that deal like 3 times a year, so 9 games, you've made up in droves. Like you've saved yourself like $100.
Yeah,
that's how I look. Even with the 50 that you spend for the deal, if you keep using the deal, you'll save money and pretty quickly.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah, it makes me feel better about buying Metal Gear because I'm not going to play it on Switch. I'm going to play it on PC.
Yeah, I kind of want just the cartridge.
I just want the cartridge and the case. Yeah, isn't that something we put value on those things more than the others? It's the same damn thing, but we're like, but this one's more valuable.
Yeah,
because it is.
It is
because it is. Because I can sell that one on eBay for $50 in 7 years, and the other ones will be $3.99.
Yep, if that.
Because nobody cherishes shit with the other logos on the box.
Yes, but the Switch ones.
But the Switch ones. You put that Nintendo logo on it, it's good stuff.
That's how Limited Run makes their money. Just like, all right, we'll make a cartridge version of this. Like, all right, I'll buy that.
Don't even put the whole game on it. Will it require a 15 gigabyte download? Should $79.99.
I can't tell you how much shit I bought off Limited Run games for shit I didn't even want. But I was just like, the cartridge looked good.
Did you get it all, or are you still waiting for it? My biggest thing with Limited Run, man, they take forever. I've bought stuff from them and I forgot I even purchased when it shows up 2 years later. I'm like, oh yeah.
The ones I get usually come like 6 months later.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
When I ordered the Scott Pilgrim KO edition, that had to be every bit of 18 months. It had to be. If not 2 years. Like it just took forever.
Yeah. Or I'll just wait till it gets to Best Buy and just buy it from there.
Yeah, it's smarter. Yeah.
That's what I usually do. Like if I don't get it, like I got the Stranger Things one from there. I got a couple other ones from there.
I think it's the merch. If you're buying like the big editions that come with statues and cases and boxes and stuff, that stuff takes longer. Yeah. If you're just buying the game, it's pretty timely.
Yeah. I'm not buying the giant merch stuff.
I had to have the KO edition. It's so cool.
Well, that makes sense for you.
You ever see it?
I've seen pictures of it. It looks awesome.
You lift the top and they play a song and like lights go and it does a song from the anime and the movie and all that. It's really cool.
So I ain't even got to ask you if you're going to watch the cartoon show.
Oh, it's the only thing that like even comes to mind that I value on Netflix. Like we're lucky my wife picks up the Netflix tab because I would have canceled Netflix a long time ago. Like every time I open it up, I'm just like, this is just a sea of stuff I don't watch. I'd rather watch Tubi. Like I've got 400 movies on Tubi I want to watch, and I can't find shit to watch on Netflix, and it's got like 10,000 options.
I agree. I want to get rid of Netflix so bad, but everybody in the house watches Netflix except me.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm really happy that the Scott Pilgrim thing is coming. I'm like, I'll watch that. And like the only thing I really watch on Netflix anymore is like if they have like a good raunchy, entertaining documentary, like I'll give that a try. And like Comedy Central or like comedy stand-ups, but they've kind of gone downhill on those as well lately. Michelle Wolf stuff is up right now. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
I'll check that out. They have these docu-series or like
I like the docu
stuff like that I want to get into. People tell me those are good.
Some of them are, yeah. The Manti Te'o one I thought was a little bit long, but there was not the Florida one. The Johnny Manziel one was pretty decent. It was pretty. The Johnny Manziel one was pretty funny because the whole time he's talking about like how partying and drinking just like ruined his career. And then the movie ends with him being like, yeah, it was a fun ride. And he's literally in the backyard just like drinking and being a frat boy with his friends. Like you're like, we've learned nothing. We made a whole documentary about it. We've learned absolutely nothing. He's like, well, it's got a lot of John Daly appeal there at the end. He's like, yep, you know what? Fuck it. But it's interesting because he talks about how he basically was like behind the scenes making thousands of dollars.
That's crazy.
And like the elaborate methods that they would go to like hide it all. Like that's entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I want to watch that one. The American Gladiators doc I want to check out because people say that one's good as well.
That one is good. I like that one a lot. I watched that one as well.
There's another one I want to watch. I can't remember what it was.
I like the documentaries. I like the documentaries a lot. It's kind of like my main thing for Netflix is a good crime series, a good documentary. Like I got hooked on the Tiger King.
I did too.
Like the crazy cult stories that they've got. They've got 3 or 4 of those. I like all of those. That's good stuff.
Those are good.
Yep. I can't wait for them. They're going to have like the Netflix documentary on that damn submarine. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of good.
That's going to be an awesome one.
Yeah. That's the one I'm waiting on.
Yeah, that was going to be fantastic.
All right. Well, I will talk about some games at least. But I've had like some life stuff this week that I'd like to talk about with my friends, if that's okay. If the listeners don't mind. I don't really have friends to talk shop with. This is kind of my talk and shop with friends place. But in the game space, I play Cocoon, which I've already talked to Delvin about. Yes. I agree that Cocoon is probably a great game. I just wasn't really in the mood to play it. And this is before my week sucked. It just requires a lot of energy. It's a lot of mental energy, and it's not Insider Limbo. It's like it's more like, I would call it like more like The Witness. Obviously the gameplay is different, but like it requires like that sort of, maybe not that much. You're not gonna be drawing designs, and that's too far. It's a heavy puzzle game. That's all. It's a heavy puzzle game. Yeah, like The Witness is too far. It's more of a dedicated puzzle game than it is a platformer or a story, or it's not the indie platformer that we think of when we think of that studio tree. It's a puzzle game. So if you're not like into puzzle games, Dev says Last Chance U is great. This isn't on Netflix, but on Max they've got the Sycamore, the what's it called, BS High, the story about the fake high school. That shit's wild. That's wild.
I watched that one.
The guy that did all that and is still not in jail and sitting there just talking shit into the camera, like you can see that he's just so detached from reality. You're like, how is this person? Like, he's just out here, like, he's like, yeah, I did it and I do it again. You're like, what the fuck? So that's worth a watch as well if you're into like the sports stuff. That's a really good one. So yeah, Cocoon is good. It's a very well made game. It's very beautiful, but it's just requires a bit more mental energy than I wanted to expend.
Nope.
So I'm playing Forgive Me, Father, which is a cool horror themed boomer shooter where you just blow up zombies and do crosses and shit. It's kind of like
now we talk
Evil Dead but Doom game, and that's kind of awesome. Like that'd be the best way that I would describe Forgive Me, Father. That's a really good one. Evil Dead but Doom game. A game that I wanted to bring up just for you. I'd like you to give this one a try. It's got a free demo. The game's not out yet, so it costs you nothing to give it a try.
Okay.
Is a game on Steam called The Drifter. Download it on your Steam Deck, download the demo and give it a try. It's an adventure game.
Okay.
And it's got some really great like pixel art, and it's got voiceover, and it's like telling a cool story. And you're basically like walking back and forth, talking to characters, gaining items to like solve the puzzle to advance the story. If you're into the Telltale thing and things like that, and you really appreciate like a good retro art game, I think you might really like The Drifter. The voice acting I thought was pretty spectacular. This game has been in development forever. I have no idea when it's coming out, but they have the demo available on Steam. You can try it out, and it's just got some really cool art. It's got a great look to it. So I know you like the adventure game. I like the adventure game. We both do a little Telltale every now and again. I thought you might like it.
All right, I'm downloading it to my Steam Deck right now, and I just wishlisted it. So
yeah, I don't know if you will, but maybe you will. And then today I was playing Tlu because I haven't been playing Cyberpunk because of my bug. We talked about it last week. The bug that I encountered. There's a fix coming, which we'll talk about in the news. But this fix came out like the day after we recorded the podcast. So I basically was like, I'll wait for them to fix it, and then I'll get back into Cyberpunk. So
okay.
One good thing about possibly not playing Mirage is that I wouldn't be really playing Mirage anyway. I'd be trying to juggle them because I just want to go get lost in Cyberpunk. Maybe more so than ever, because like this week, if I may take the podcast off the rails, this week got tough. My wife has been making fun of me the last 2 days. She's been calling me Emo Donnie. She called me Mopey earlier. She's like, "Oh, you just moping around?" Because I'm sad and I'm angry because yesterday I went to work. We had an all hands meeting because or I don't know if you know this. I think most people get this. Our staff, we're not remote, but we're in multiple locations.
Yes.
And we all have like rotating schedules. So we don't see each other often. We collaborate digitally. So they wanted everybody to get together. So we just opened a new warehouse. We have like a shared space with a bunch of other county departments. And they were like, let's all go down to the warehouse. We'll all get a tour. We'll meet all of the new employees. We'll all have lunch together. We'll do some training. We did like a radio training, and we did the tour. So we were all hanging out doing all that. And during the middle of that, so like right in the middle of our tour, we get a text like, "Hey, you duty officers," which are like the more senior staff, they're like, "Just hang back like 15 minutes after the training." I was like, "Okay, we'll have like a powwow. We'll talk about the upcoming exercise. We'll talk about some policy thing." So we're all sitting there. It's very casual. We're fucking around and making jokes, and we've all worked together for very long. And my boss walks in and handed us his resignation letter.
Whoa.
Yeah. And for those that haven't listened to us long, I have worked with my boss every day that he's been here for the last 13 years. I've been in my position, I think, going on 16, I think. And I am like the most senior member on our agency, not only of my era, of like since like the 70s. Like our agency had a really big reputation for a lot of turnover. People would come for 2 years and then leave. They get a better paying job somewhere else because our job for the city and our responsibilities are a lot. And it's a lot of political pressure, and you have to deal with a lot of talking heads. I've got a lot of chiefs. I got a lot of mayors. I got a lot of commissioners. I got a lot of police chiefs and sheriffs, and it's like a lot, right? There's a lot of pressure that comes with our job. I had 4 directors. Matthew, our current director, is my 4th director. I had 4 in 4 years when I got started.
Wow.
Yeah. So Matthew came, and from the beginning, like back then, way back then, some 15 years ago or so, our agency was on the brink, man. Like the whole thing was going to get closed down. We had no money. We had no funding. All of our equipment was antiquated. It was old. Nobody believed in us. Everybody hated us. Everybody wanted to do what we did. They wanted to take us over. I know the person that I replaced. I worked with him for 4 years before he left. He told me absolutely not, do not take that job. They're going to close that office in 3 months. You're going to be looking for another job.
Wow.
And I took the job as a scrappy 19-year-old because I thought that if I wanted the platform, you know, like there was only so much I could do in my old job because it was such a smaller community. I was never going to be given like a chance, like let me show you what I can do, what I'm capable of. And I knew that if I got there, I would at least have like the stage, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like I wanted the chance to show off. And I was cocky. I felt like I worked with a bunch of old people that didn't know what they were doing. And if I could just get like a chance, like the stage, I could show them what they were missing. And for the most part, I did. I hate to say it like that, but I'm trying to make like a long story short. My boss and I, for the last 14 years, have done a lot. We've worked on 4 Super Bowls, 2 college football national championship games, a 1,000-year flood, a 1,000-year snowstorm, countless special events. We rebuilt that agency together. I've like watched his cats. His children have met mine. Like he's watched my kids grow up together. We did COVID together. You know, like we ran the Mercedes-Benz vaccination site and stuff. Like we've done a lot. I'm very proud of our time together. And the part that I'd love to just bounce off of you is that I kind of made a mess of the situation because he walked into the room. We hadn't seen him all day. It's not like he'd been there all day or anything. He literally walked in right at the time we were closing. He walks in. We're like, oh, hey, what's up? You missed the whole day. He walks in and he handed me a piece of paper. And I just got to admit, I was furious. I had never felt so disrespected like in my life. And I realize now, a day removed, that I was overly emotional and too attached. And that's unfortunate, but that's how my boss and I were. We were very close. You know, we've shared hotel rooms together. Like when we were working in Minnesota, like we didn't have separate rooms. We had to share a room because they could only afford to send, so many people. You know, like we've done all these conferences together. We've traveled together. We've worked 72 hours straight together, like we're in cots together. When you do a lot of that, it's not like your normal boss relationship. It's not like your go to work job. You know, somebody just quits and you're like, oh, well, that's that. Wish you the best. And it was so upsetting as Dev joins the show. Welcome, Dev. It was so upsetting because he comes in like that. He hands us a piece of paper and he goes, I just want you all to read this before we talk. And we go around the table and like everybody is like really nice. Like I think they're doing like the thing that I should have done. You guys know me. I'm terrible at this. I have no tact. I have no, I wasn't trained on how to behave in these things. And I only shoot from the hip, like how I feel. And everybody's just like, I can't believe this is happening, but I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait. You're going to do great things. And he gets to me and I was like, I'm fucking furious. Like I'm livid right now. I'm like, how are all of you saying these things? I was like, I cannot be the only person that is just, I was like, dude, I'm happy for you. I hope this is everything you want it to be. I was like, I cannot believe after everything we did together that this is how I'm fine. I can't believe we're doing this today. Like I realize that they're not like going to tell us ahead of time, but like a text message like, hey, hang back for 15 minutes while your boss of 15 years quit. Like it just felt like the plan just felt so poorly done, like so poorly executed. He's talked about leaving before and he's interviewed for other jobs. And I knew about that through the process. Same for me. I'm going to get mad again. I have passed over so many other opportunities because of him. Because I enjoyed working for him, because he made my life comfortable. I had, like over all those years, I was telling you the story of how we've like rebuilt this program. A part of me was always like, I don't have to go grind that hard and prove myself again. I've already done that. Like I've earned that. Like now I know my boss, I know what we do, and I can just focus on this. Dude, I was planning to like hopefully chill for like 5 years or so, like just get some, like after Super Bowl and college and COVID, like just, can we just like breathe for a minute? And you guys know this, but our listeners don't, but a couple years ago, they transitioned us over from like kind of like these quasi employees to full-time employees. And I lost like all of my benefits and time and everything that I banked to that point. And during that time, when he was like, you really need to come over, because it was kind of like, it wasn't a choice, but it was kind of like a, either do this or we're going to have to think of other things. He was like, I talked to him. We had long conversations. He was like, oh yeah, like I've got roots here. My kids are going to school here. Like I'm not going anywhere, cause I was like, I'm real worried about doing this. Like I'm giving up 9 years of service, to transition here. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere. He's like, if you're into this, I'm here for it. So like this whole time I've been planning like post COVID that, all right, well, I'm going to get some more years in here, get vested and all that. And, eventually my boss will probably move on to better things, but I've got a few years. And is like, shit, you've got nothing. You've got 18 months. And he's out the door. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have experienced anything like this, and I'm sorry to just keep talking, but I can tell you that since that meeting, yeah, I've been kind of like, I guess, in my feels. Like I'm having to now take stock of where I am and where I want to go at a time that, like, and if I'm just being honest, which is the only thing I can be, this is the last thing I wanted to be thinking about right now. Like this was the thing that I thought was good. Like I've got kids about to go to college. I'm trying to figure out how to pay for everything. Like I feel like this was the part that was solid. And now I suddenly don't feel so solid anymore. I don't know what my future will be. They could hire a new director. He could come in and screw everything up and I could be looking for another job in 6 months. I have no idea. And I'm just kind of fucked about it.
Yeah. The unknown. That's the scary part.
And I feel like I've done too much, like, to have to go back to that, like, I don't even know if I have the energy to go back to that. I did that when I was 19, about to be 37. I can't just go back to, well, let's go show the world how great we are all over again. Let's do 15-hour days. I'm like, I'd rather go work. I'll just drive Uber instead of that. Like, I don't think I've got that in me again.
Yeah. Even more than that, it's like we've worked together for this long. We've become this close. You couldn't say something. Anything?
Yeah. It felt. Do you think I'm wrong for feeling? Because
absolutely not.
I felt empowered in that moment. I'm not going to lie to you. I said everything I wanted to say. Like everything I wanted to say, because I was like, this can't be happening right now. But at the same time, being removed, I was like, you let your emotions get the best of you. This is not how like people act with a boss or with a coworker. Like this is, maybe I should have taken that a different way.
No, I don't think you did, because here's the thing. As somebody who's in charge of people, I would never do that. Especially the employees that I have come.
I don't have that in me.
Come to have that kind of relationship with. Like if I'm looking for something else, I'm going to let you know as soon as I can up front. Like, hey, this is what my plan is, so you can get your stuff together and decide what you want to do. If I have to prepare you for something, or if I can help you to transition or something like that, I want to be able to lay those cards out just so I can take care of my employees. Because like you said, when you have a boss that you work that close with for that long, there's so much more there than just a work relationship. Like there's just more vested there, to where you leaving that position is gonna affect your employees in more than just the fact that they're getting a new boss. Like changes in leadership at that level can change the entire way a department operates. So you have to think about that kind of stuff and prepare your people. You don't just 5 minutes after a meeting, just give them a letter of resignation, let them know you're leaving, and you haven't even been there all day. Like it's chicken shit.
I think so too. I agree. That's where I was feeling at that moment. I said it, And a couple of our other folks that were in the meeting, they told me that they were like, I'm happy you said it. I think they weren't willing to step out on a limb. And I was like, oh, I'm breaking this fucking limb. I can't believe this is happening right now.
Absolutely.
I was like, I can't believe that you just I told him, I was like, I can't believe that you just handed me a letter. I said, I can't believe that you're doing this now in front of everybody. Like, this is how I'm hearing about this. And I can't believe that you're leaving. It's not just that you're leaving. It's how you're doing it. It's
how you're leaving. Mm-hmm.
And he made it even worse. He said, I've been talking to this company for a year. So he had a year at some point to be like,
known this.
I don't know if I have this in me, Donnie.
So right after we had the conversation about me coming over and you staying
and starting over.
6 months later, you're looking for something else. And you've known that after having this conversation, you couldn't just be upfront with me.
And it's a little selfish because at the end of the day, nobody owes anybody anything. Everybody's got to look out for themselves. But like I said, he's tipped me off before that changes might be coming just so I could be prepared.
Right.
And this time he just didn't. Well, like, it's just very like, this is very much like a clean break. He didn't call me after. We haven't spoke since.
Well, selfishness is a two-way street. He could have told you. He just didn't want to deal with the response of that. This could have been conversations y'all could have had. And I think that's
I would have felt better. I would have felt better if 3 months ago he was like, hey, I know you don't want to hear this, but somebody's talking to me about an opportunity. I'm listening and I'm interested and I'm going to pursue it. Literally that alone would have done wonders versus what just happened.
It changes it completely because it doesn't feel blindsided. You don't feel
completely blind, like out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were the county's customer, like they have a customer service board. They were congratulating us yesterday over like a long 4 years. So that's why all the employees are together. They all gave us like little gifts and told us thank you for all of our work and everything. This is like a time to celebrate. Take a group picture. And he walked in and quit.
Yeah, that's wild.
Isn't it? So like my whole mind space has been fucked. Like I just sat in the hot tub yesterday, just like drinking, like not like I am sad. I'm sad that he's leaving, but like, it's not so much sad as just like, I don't know, like perplexing. Like I'm just deep in thought. My mind is racing. I'm seeing 1,000 futures run in front of me. And I'm like, I don't know where to go or what to do. You know, like we have a bigger team now than we've ever had. When I got started here, we had 4 people. We now have like 16 people. There's like a core 3 of us though. We could do this whole thing with the 3 of us. And it's like, we were looking at each other yesterday because he did leave and it was just us. We had the room to ourselves and we sat there for maybe 3 hours. And I was like, guys, we got to circle the wagons. Like, I know it's like not for me to ask. I was like, but if this news is making you think of reconsidering, like we need to let each other know. Cause like, I don't want to be the last person sitting here. Like all alone like that. I won't do again. I don't know. My future is just, like I said, it's uncertain. And my future my professional life hasn't been uncertain since 2007. And, I mean, I've got places, like people have wanted to hire me. Like I'm not particularly afraid that if I wanted to find other employment, I could.
Right.
It's more of I really liked what I did. And that's why I stayed there so long. And if all things were equal, I'd like to keep doing it the way that I do it. Like I'd love for everybody to be like, you're great at your job and we just want you to keep doing it. Like, that's what I'd love to hear. But I know how these things go. The people in charge that make these decisions, that run the money and the executive council and stuff, they don't know anything about me. They're going to they're going to go do some nationwide search, hire some name and candidate. And he could come in here and say the wrong thing to the wrong mayor and literally throw this whole thing down the drain in 6 months. Like he could change rapidly, very fast under a new director.
Yeah.
So it's heavy.
Very heavy.
It's been a heavy week for me, guys.
Yeah.
John 32 asks, will they make you the director? I'm positive that at some point somebody will come and ask, and my answer will be no. I couldn't want less of that job. My job as it is stressful and full. Like it is both stress and full. I don't have time to do what I do and be a director. And you can't, I'm harder to replace than a director. It'd be harder for me to hire another me it would be for them to hire another director.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean to say that like I'm some hot shit. I'm not. It's just it's a very special skill set that they're not around. Like they're not.
Yeah.
That's not something you could just go grab. You can grab directors and managers. There's thousands of those people.
Yeah, they exist. They're everywhere. But yeah, your specialized like technical people. They're not just everywhere.
Especially from public safety. Like we could find a coder and he could also screw up a lot of things that make a lot of people angry. Like there's the public safety side of what I do as well. That's the specific part.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what I was hoping to gain. It does feel better just to talk. I don't really have people to talk to outside of my coworkers, which, has its own bias aside. Maybe, and there's part of me that's like, maybe the next person they hire is awesome. Just like the last one. I'm doubting. I'm skeptical. I don't think they can hit back-to-back homers. Their record wasn't that good when they started, but who knows? You never know. So I'm at least committed to sticking around and seeing it out. I mean, I could not just leave everything that I've done and just leave. Right. That's another part of this. It's like
you're invested.
Like when people think of our logo nationally, they think of us, Matthew and me. Nothing against my other coworkers, but like that's the truth. I couldn't just walk out on that so easily.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like he just is like wants to go. It just feels like and I'm sure the pay is good. He's going to the private sector. He's going to get paid a lot. I'm sure the money is a huge motivation, but like you could double my salary and I wouldn't just go do something that I didn't like just for the money. Like I'm not about that life. So yeah. Anyway, Dev, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hell of a time to come in.
I mean, I've been listening to the show since you guys started, and my wife happened to get back home, and I was able to finish getting my son fed, and I was like, "Oh, I have to jump in here."
Yeah. Welcome to the depression hour. State your grievances.
Life is life, and I feel like absolute trash. I feel I'm sick. Like I've been fighting.
Oh no.
Oh great.
Yeah, I think I've been basically pushing myself to like just exhaustion the last probably week. My wife was out of town at a conference. Let's see. So last Wednesday, I left early, right? Yeah, I left early off the podcast early. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
His wife was she was at a dinner. So I had to go put the kids to bed and all that good stuff. And then after that, Thursday, she went to go speak at a conference. So she was out of town from Thursday through Saturday. So I had the kids and all of that. Then Sunday, she had a birthday party to go to. That was down in LA. She took my daughter with me. So I've just been like nonstop work.
Yeah, go.
Kids, work, kids. So I think my body is just finally like, okay, you need to sit down. Like you are trying to do too much. This week at work, it's National Customer Service Week, so we've been trying to do a bunch of stuff to show our appreciation for our employees. Like today, we did like pit beef barbecue. We fed them all. We played. We've been playing these games and stuff. So just trying to do what we can to give back to our employees. So I've been wanting to just show up for that. Because I was going to have this whole week I was going to be working from home. I don't know if I talked about like the car accident that I gotten into a few weeks back.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, see, life has been all over the place. So probably it was last month, like maybe 4 weeks at this point. We were down in LA. We were going to visit the church that we had gone to. Before
I think you said it was your wife's car.
Yeah, it's my wife's car.
Yeah.
So
and it's not fixable.
No, it's fixable. It's fixed.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
So we were down there. We were visiting a church that we used to go to before we moved to Bakersfield. It's their 20th anniversary 20th anniversary of the church. So we were down there and I was coming back from getting the car to go pick up the kids and hit a car and totally jacked up the front right wheel. And it was just like the worst possible thing. I'm like, okay, we're in LA. We're 2.5 hours away from home. It's a Sunday. All of the tow yards are closed. Like, it was just a cluster, an absolute cluster. So like we've been just dealing with the car in the shop in LA. It finally is done. It's ready to be picked up and everything, but we've just been dealing with the one car, and just financially things have been really tough. So we couldn't afford to have a rental car for that long, and my insurance. Danny must work from the.
My wife here with the comedy. Yesterday, she was like, "Oh, you just emo Donnie." I was like, "That's great.
Yeah,
happy like the one time I'm actually sad. You just patronize me. Thanks, appreciate that." Even today, I was like just tired. And I worked a lot today, and I just like went upstairs to get dinner. She's like, "Are you moping still?" It's like, God damn.
This is the sign that you married the right woman.
Yeah, can I have a hug? Something? Nothing? No.
This is truly your wife.
She hugged them cats though.
And those cats like you better.
100%. She has to like catch them to hug them. She calls them. They don't even like look at her, and they even look in her direction. They just start looking at the ceiling and stuff.
That's
like I don't know. They think even she's here. She could just be a chair for like all they are considering. Funny. So that sucks, man. You gotta juggle back and forth and swap cars, and I get it.
So we've been very, very lucky. We've been blessed. So like the day that it happened, one of my friends who stays out there happened to, like, he normally goes home a certain way from church. He happened to just go a different way, where he came across me, and luckily he had AAA. So he was able to get my car towed to a friend's shop and get the car there. And then another one of our good friends who lives in Santa Clarita, her mom happened to be going to Greece. So we were able to borrow her car for like a week and a half. So we had her car. So we still had 2 cars. And then we get the car back last week. So we had to drive down to LA, drop that car off, come back out here. And then last Wednesday, when my wife went to dinner with some friends, one of her friends actually had a 2000 Toyota Camry that she had saving for her son, but he didn't pass his permit test, so he couldn't drive. She was like, "It needs to be driven. It's only got 99,000 miles on it. It's a 20-something-year-old car, only less than 100,000 miles on it. It drives great." She's like, "It needs to be driven. You guys just use it until you get the car fixed." So we've been very, all things considered,
that's about as good as it gets, man.
Yes.
That's pretty sweet. You didn't have to rent a car. It's just car provided.
Yeah, we have been very blessed, very fortunate to have everything just kind of work out the way it is. But it's just like the stress and the anxiety around trying to figure it all out that just has had me just so stressed out as of late. I
feel you.
Trying to figure it all out, man. So
exactly, you know how stressed I was after that meeting. And it wasn't just me laying into him. I did lay into him. I'm not going to lie. And I even told him, I was like, I feel selfish and I'm sorry. Like, this is your big moment. And I was like, but this is not how you should have done this. I told him in front of everybody, I was like, I can't believe you just handed me a fucking letter. It's exactly why I said it. Like, yeah, I know you guys know, but our listeners may not know. I am every bit as what you like hear. Like, I have one speed. I have one gear. This is it. Which is why I'm not going to be the director, John 32. Because I'm not going to last very long. I don't think I'd make 90 days. Like, they get rid of me real quick.
Would not pass probation.
Because I'd straight up tell some mayors and commissioners, y'all are idiots. That's exactly what I would do. But a funny anecdote to what you're doing is my daughter did pass her test. And we had our first driving lesson this week.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. I had in my head, just based on how she is and how she takes to things, in my head, like this whole time, I was like, you're going to be a good driver. Way better than like your mom and her sister. You'll be great. I got in a car with her in about 5 minutes. Like, oh, we're sending you to driving school. Like, I am not getting on the main road with you. No. She did fine. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's just like a confidence level, I think. We got into a parking lot and I was like, all right. I was like, let's just get you used to like what this feels like. I was like, I'm not even going to bother you a whole lot. Like, let's go over the buttons and what they do. And I was like, all right, we're going to drive forward. I was like, I want you to give it a little gas. I want you to feel like what it's like to drive this car fast. I was like, and then at the end, I want you to stop, turn on your blinker, and then make a turn. And she was like, we're doing turns today? And that's when I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this. I thought I was ready for this. I'm not ready for this. There's like a generational divide.
Yeah.
For sure. And I hate to bring it up to that, but like it is that. Like when I learned to drive, I don't know how you guys learned to drive. When I learned to drive, like my uncle was like, here are the keys. Drive. Yeah. And he didn't have to tell me to use my blinker, because before I ever got the keys, I knew that when you turn, you use the blinker. Like there was like and it might be, I don't know if it's a guy thing, it might be like a worker thing, but like there was a level of awareness that I had already had before I ever got there. And I realized I was like, oh, we have to start from the beginning with this Padawan. I'm going to use some help. Like I could use some expert help on this one. Yeah. So yeah, we'll start looking around and booking her for driving school soon. Get her ready to go off on her own.
I'm experiencing the same thing with my son. Like, hey, it's like fundamentally teaching somebody how to drive and the whole system, and like, hey, you got to press the gas.
Does he have it like kind of like what I was describing, or is he like completely in the dark?
Completely in the dark.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, we're in the same thing right now.
Y'all weren't paying attention at all.
Right. It's like we've driven to Ohio. You've spent 20 hours in this damn car.
It's the whole thing of pressing the gas, how much gas you have to press, turning the wheel.
Dude, she hit that first brake and like almost threw me through the window. Like I was trying to eat I had stopped to get snacks because I was like, let's make this casual and fun. I had a pretzel and like some dip. So I was like trying to dip my pretzel in the cheese. And she's like, all right, I got it. I was like, all right, just smooth stop. And she's like slammed the brakes, like went forward. Whoa! What happened? Go ahead and
give you a video game controller and explain to you how to ease on, like, so you're just all gas, no brakes, all brakes, no gas when you play Mario Kart. It's either or. There's no ease on to anything, huh?
I put her in reverse, and I was like, all right, so you remember your driver's test? Like, how do you reverse? And she was just like, oh. I was like, why are you freaking out right now? We're in an empty parking lot. Calm down. There's no stress here.
They get nervous. My son was doing the thing where he kept moving the wheel, like, don't move the wheel. this is not like a hoopty. You don't have to like move the wheel forward and back. Like,
well, I'm glad I brought this up because I do feel like I'm amongst friends. Like everything you're saying, Delvin, is just landing. I'm like, we are in the same boat.
Yeah, I'm like, it got to the point. I'm like, you know what? Just don't press the gas. Let's work on driving straight first. That's what we need to focus on right now.
I'm not even. I skipped over the fun part. When she first hit the accelerator for the first time, she was like, "Oh, I get this. This is easy."
Oh,
oh no!
And then I was like, "All right, turn your blinker." And she like turned on the windshield wipers, and I was like, "Nope, not that one. Try again." She like turned on the next one, turn on the lights. I'm like, "Oh no, oh no."
You've not watched a single thing I've done here.
Well, it was funny because before we ever put her in the seat, I did 20 minutes on what every button did. And I popped the hood and I was like, this is what coolant is. And this is oil. And here's how you check this. Here's how you check your tires. And she did. You guys will love. She was like, aren't there like people for this? And I was like, I'm lost. Like the generation. Like I didn't tell you to come out here and change the radiator. I told you here's how to check the levels of the fluid. I made her pump gas. That was the first thing we did. I made her pump gas.
That's good.
Yeah. But that'll be a journey in itself. She did great. I'm not gonna lie. She did great when she got on. She's a little heavy on the gas on the brake foot, but
I feel like
other than that,
women. I feel like that is just women. I don't know what it is.
Well,
my sister has a lead foot. My wife has a lead foot. Most women that I've been in the car with, it's like they just hit the gas so damn hard all the time. Like, why do you feel the need to accelerate so hard? Like, where are you going?
We learned in because my daughter she did not pass her first attempt at the learner's permit test, which was a humbling experience for her because she's been talking shit all year long about how this test was easy. She at one point told me she didn't even need to study for it. She's like, nobody studies for this, Dad. Everybody just goes and passes it.
Oh,
and you all fail it. This is why you all fail it.
I printed the book and highlighted sections. I created her a PowerPoint. I made a PowerPoint. I read the book and I made a PowerPoint, like flashcards, and I went through it with her. And she did good on that. I'm not going to lie. And then that test gave her a humbling experience. And then in in those family conversations, we learned that apparently her mom and grandma all did the same. I was like, oh, so this is just genetic.
Generational.
Is it like, and I was like making jokes, but like half believing. I was like, is this just like how like the rich and famous do it? They're like, they'll stroll down there and see if they can pass it. And if not, maybe they'll try. Because like when I was with my foster family, there was no like fail. I studied that book for a week. I knew that book.
You take this test and you pass it.
Yeah. I drove home the day I got my learner's permit. I walked in, took the test, walked outside, and my mom gave me the key, and I drove us home.
I got to give Delvin Jr. props on this one because he said the same thing. I'm like, you sure? Like, yeah, I got this, Dad. This is not hard. It's going to be easy. And to his credit, he got a fucking 100.
Good.
I was shocked. I was like, what? Like,
now, hang on. Is that like a Florida thing? Was it like, this is an alligator, here's your license? Like, is that how that works?
Probably.
Do you believe in God in America? Yeah, here's your license. You've passed.
Do you drink Budweiser? Here you go. Here you go, kid. Let's go.
Do you believe the government should require you to have a license? No. License approved. Here you go. Like, you are good to go.
I was legit shocked. Like, 100? I think he asked
good on Delvin Jr.
Yeah, he asked me about one question, like, you got to figure it out. And then he got it. So, like, okay, good job. I'm impressed.
I told her on the way home, we had a nice little chat. I don't get a lot of time to be one-on-one with her where she's like calm and receptive, you know, like where she's open to hearing what I have to say. And I was like, I hope this was like kind of a humbling experience. I was like, you know, you talking a lot of smack. You realize you really got to study. I was like, you really got to study next time. We got to do it again. And granted, she did. She did. The next day, she had the book open and she was getting, and then she smoked that bad boy. She was in there for like 8 minutes. It came out and she was like, passed. I was like, yo, look at you. Very proud. Very proud day. Can't believe that like I've already, it feels not that long. I mean, it's a long time ago, but not that long ago that somebody took me to get my driver's license. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Shoes on the other foot. So
life comes at you fast.
It does. It does. Especially if you're working hard with somebody for 14 years and you don't take a minute to think about where So, well, let's make this a Dev. You playing anything? Any fun times?
Cyberpunk, baby.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I do. It's fantastic. I don't know what glitch you ran into. I don't have that glitch.
Of course.
That's good. Don't tell Johnny that you're more fucked up than him. That's what you gotta do.
Where did that happen? Because I don't
it's
even.
It's in the Evelyn quest. It's early on. I forget the name of the quest. It's the Relic quest. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I even had that dialogue option.
No, maybe you didn't. Maybe it's like, I think it might be like an attribute. It might be like a street kid thing. You got to level up to get there.
My street kid is high, but because I see street kid options all the time, but I remember going through that part and it was all super glitchy, and I remembered you saying that, but I didn't have an option to say I was more messed up than you.
Smart man.
You probably just talked to him and it didn't just come up based on what you were saying to him before.
Yeah, it could have been based on several other decisions, like a tree. Yeah,
it's possible, but yeah, I have been just absolutely
it's so good. I'm so happy.
This game, the story is so good. I'm so
it is
all the characters and everything. I totally understand why you two love Pan Am. She is batshit crazy. I mean, she's nuts. She's psycho.
Yeah, she's fun.
And I have just cracked the surface with her, and I'm like,
Delvin and I are about that life.
I cracked something else with her.
Yeah. I'm female V, and you don't get that option.
People are having a hard time. We were talking about girlfriends in the Discord, and I think people are having a hard time adjusting to what we were laying down, Delvin. I'm like, you know. Yeah, y'all are about that. I'm gonna get stabbed for it, life. Nah, Doc. I'm not about it. Me. Melissa's not that girl. Like I realized for the betterment of my health and survival, I had to exit stage left.
Yeah.
I had a saving grace, but I get it. No, I've been there though. I get it, man.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, man, just going through all the story beats, doing all the side stuff, like the characters are so well done that you want to do the side stuff just to progress and see how they're doing and see where they go and see how it ties into the overall world and just how everything plays out. I'm just absolutely having a blast with it. I think I'm about 40 hours in now.
Wow, I'm so
awesome.
far behind.
Yeah, I
I haven't played it since my glitch, since this patch. Since Yarden was like, they're gonna fix it. And I was like, I just put it down until it gets fixed.
Yeah, I jumped into like the very beginning of the Phantom Liberty stuff, and it feels very seamless. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel jarring or take you out of it. Like it feels like it just
Like a
fits
new world and all that. That's what
like
I was
just
hoping
another
for.
just another side quest.
Yeah,
Like it just feels like it fits. Just it's just fantastic.
I'm hopeful that with this patch and all the upgrades and the expansion, that maybe people will give it that second chance and not that they have to come to learn to love it, but at least come to learn why the people that love it do love it, because there's a lot of us that love this game.
Yeah, there's so many people that really enjoyed it. Like, I have a bunch of friends who all finished it on PlayStation, like on PS4, and before it even got to PS5, and they loved it. Like dealing with whatever bugs and glitches they had, and they like it's one of the few games a lot of my friends have actually finished. I'm like, you finished Cyberpunk, really?
Closest to the Matrix I've ever felt in a video game space.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
I have gone basically. I am a sniper hacker. Like,
nice.
If I play it honestly, like I play Watch Dogs, if I can hack everything and not even have to go into the building, that's what I'm gonna do. You won't even see me. I'm just a ghost in the machine.
Nice.
And if you do see me, it's only going to be for a split second because you're getting shot in the face and you're dying. So that's how I've played.
I just chop those terminals and computers in half with my new katana. I'm just like, swing.
Yeah,
well, I guess that don't work no more, does it?
I don't ever get close enough to even use the sword. Like I'm beginning like, why do I even have this equipped? Because nobody.
That's how I played the first game. The first time I played it, I was like, who's doing this?
Yeah.
I'm really glad the second time I tried it. I was like, I'm gonna try to do it. And it's a lot of fun. I get it.
It is nice cutting off people when they do get close enough. I do pull out the sword and just start chopping off limbs.
Yeah, when they hold out a gun in front of you and you just swipe their arm off and it just falls down. Like, oh, so you brought a gun to a knife fight? You fuck, son.
I have been really like holding back on getting like the limbs that have knives because I'm like, that just feels like cheating. Like that legit just feels like completely unfair. Like, I feel like there's no way that I'm ever going to be stopped if I have limbs that are blades. Like you have no chance.
It's a lot of fun,
especially after like hacking somebody and crippling them to where they can't move, and then you slice them up. Like it's just cheating. It's just not fair. So yeah, I'm digging it. I'm loving the story. I'm loving the characters. Got to pour one out for my boy Jackie. Did not see that coming. I don't care if I'm spoiling it for you people. This game is old.
It's outside of the rules.
It's pretty old. It's pretty old at this point.
And it's pretty early in the game too.
Yeah. I didn't see it coming. As somebody who did not follow the story or play or anything, I did not see that coming. It's like, damn, y'all gonna do me
do
like
a
that,
man like that.
Off jump. Like you hit me in the fields this soon? Dang. And then the whole Evelyn thing, Judy, like it's the characters
did
are just.
Did you get the bike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I got the bike.
Did you get Johnny's car?
The
one that's in the garage?
Yeah, it's got like the guns and everything in it. I just had him driving by. He's like, whoa, just go back there. That's my. And I was like, oh,
yeah, okay. You got to do that one. Yeah, that's like the one. But I've bought a bunch of cars because I like the cars, but like that's like one of my biggest tips to folks is like, because I remember when I first beat it, I asked somebody that and they're like, what? Oh shit. Like you gotta go get Johnny's car, man.
I just happened to come across a mission that took me out there, and as I was driving by, he was like, "Whoa!
Was it Delamain?
Go back there." Yeah, it was the Delamain thing. Yeah,
so. I think that's why that quest is there. But I remember the first time I played it, one of my biggest hangups, I was like, it's not like an open world game. Like it's like clearly the map wants to be, but it's not. And the one thing it had going for it was the Delamain mission. So I did them all the first time I played, like all of them.
I did them all.
I told that to somebody. And they were like, I didn't do any of those. They thought it was like busy work. So they never saw his car and they never found it. I was like, man, like it's really good dialogue. Like the Delamain stuff is a lot of fun.
It's really fun. Like I was like, the reason why I did it was because I was like, I like this character. I want to see what is going on with this crazy AI and what's happening. And finding all the cars and all the different versions.
That was like my thing. Like I would do a mission and then I would do like 3 Delamain missions while I just like listen to the radio or like I would just chill out. And now we've got like the drops and we have like the car chases and the police and the Delamain. Like now it feels now there's some of that open world game there. Now it feels like that. It's so crazy how different it felt. Like, I can't, because you're playing it now. I don't know how best I could explain it, but like 2 years ago, it just felt like this thing that was out there that you had to get through to get to your next mission. It was like, there's nothing going on. This game's come a long way.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, every time I'm driving around the world, it just feels like there's just so much happening. Like,
I love how the traffic reacts to you. Like that's something I've always taken for granted, I think, for so many years of Call of Duty, but like the earliest versions of Cyberpunk, traffic was just like on routine. Like, you'd hit a car and it just like you'd like lean back into the lane and keep going. Like now, if you scrape a car, come near, like they'll zip around you, they'll race off, you know, like, yeah, it feels alive.
Feels very much alive. And the fact that like every time you pull around a corner, there's some kind of like activity where they're like, you want to go ahead and help the police here and
you want to get this
what's going on, or there's some gang fight, or the police have cordoned off something. Like there's just so much activity and liveliness in the game that it truly feels alive. And even we're listening to the radio, or when you're getting in the elevator and the commercials, like it'll talk about stuff that you've done that's happened to give it even that extra immersion.
That wasn't there when I played it. So that's even better.
I was going to ask you, Delvin, you ever listen to the radio?
Yeah, none of that stuff was there like that. So
you know that one channel, I always listen to it and I forget the name of it. I want to say it's Growl, but I could be off on that. Sasha Gray's the DJ.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if people knew that. I thought that would get Delvin in. I thought he'd be listening.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's good. Like there was a mission, like a side mission where like there was a cop that had his best friend die, but his best friend was a turtle, and then he kills himself. And like you're talking to the cops, and it's just like, whoa, yeah,
I love
really,
it.
It's just
makes me very happy.
Story. And the world looks amazing. Everything feels alive. The characters like feel like they have like everybody has meaningfulness, and there's something to do with each character. So I'm digging it, and can't wait to get back into it and finish out the Phantom Liberty story, and then finish out the rest of the game while doing all of the side stuff that I come across. Because so far, none of it feels like just fetch. It doesn't feel like super fetch questy or just like dumb stuff. Everything feels like it's leading to something, which is always nice.
Yeah.
So,
if you're invested into reading all the things, and
if people want to get into the game,
all of
the base game is probably cheap right now. Probably get the base game for like $20, $30, and then get Phantom Liberty. You're paying for like $60.
I've paid a total of $40 for this game.
There you go.
Because I got it on PC when it was $10, and then paid $30 for the Phantom Liberty expansion. So total of $40 for, quite frankly, a really amazing game.
Yeah.
To the point
can't wait
where
to get back in.
I went ahead and picked up some of the comic books. So as we were talking about it last week, I went looking in my library to see if they have the comic books. So I've actually got the comics on hold at my local library.
Well, I can't wait to hear the reviews on those, because I'm not that in comics, but those are, I like them for at least for like shelf ornaments and stuff. It might be something I put up or give a look through.
Have to rewatch Edge Runners too. I love that fucking show.
I have to watch it.
I'm loving this. I love how deep you're into it, because I love this game. We don't have this often. I'm baking. I'm basking in this. I'm like basking in this moment. It's like you've got your hands full until Spider-Man comes out. You're good.
Yeah, I honestly I could probably wait on Spider-Man at this point. Like I'd rather play this. Like I don't know what I'm gonna.
That's how I am with Mirage. When the patch came out, I was like, all right, I'll put this on the back burner. Maybe I'll get into the review for Mirage. But again, I don't know if we did something to piss yourself off or we're just not popular enough. But I didn't get anything on Mirage at all. Nothing came through. So, but now that Mirage is about to come out, I saw the patch, which we'll get into the news here in a minute. I was like, no, I'm not doing Mirage. Like Mirage can wait. I'll get to Mirage, but like I'm jonesing to get back into Night City. Like that's all I really want to do. And especially after like the week that I've had, like more than anything, I would love to just get into Night City for like 8 hours this weekend and just just do that for a while.
Same. I mean, I'm sorry, Chaffee. Every now and again, I like something that's not Destiny. It happens.
I asked Chaffee to join us tonight if he could. I would love to talk shop with Chaffee.
Yes.
But we'll have more opportunities to talk with Chaffee in the future. So
that we will. That we will.
Yes, we will.
All right. You guys ready to do the news?
Let's hop into it.
Because I thought this might be a deep show, I did find a new TikTok. So enjoy.
Oh, I'm about to die. Shit. Wow.
You healing, so I'm
Wow.
healing.
Nah, see, I'm just surprised because I ain't know you was a bitch.
I'm a bitch.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, that's mad disrespectful.
It smell like bitch in here.
No, because you healed like 10 times. But when I do it, it's a problem.
Look at your health bar and look at mine.
It's a problem when I do it.
You heal back to 100%.
Nah, bro.
It's not even the second phase,
If
bro.
we being honest, a lot of that sound like excuses. To me, you the one sound like a bitch.
Oh, me?
I bet.
Let me go do all these side quests.
Go do the
I'm
side
gonna come
quest.
back
Now
and
go do
one
the
shot your
side
bitch
quest,
ass
bro.
so that you can't heal.
Spin back and
Yeah, how
watch
about
what
that?
happened to you.
2 hours later.
Oh, so you came back. You must really think them little side
Yeah.
Oh, you almost one-shot me for real.
Yeah, it hurt, don't it?
How many side quests did you do?
All of them.
Yeah, bro, you need a job.
Yeah, that's a wrap, buddy.
Hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Did you just heal again?
Yeah.
Second phase, bitch. Man, give me my fucking hand back, man.
Hold on.
Nah.
Where you going?
Nah, cause fuck you, dude. I got work in the morning. I ain't got time
Man,
for this
come on,
shit,
it's only
bro.
one more phase,
Nah,
man.
Cause at this point, I'm install some mods. Just shoot your bitch ass.
You need a
That's
job.
too real. That's too real. It hurt, don't it?
Speaking of that patch, as we found out after we posted the show last week, Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a 2.01 patch, which most notably fixes my glitch issue. I was like the top of the thing. We'll fix the dialogue Johnny glitch issue. I was like, great. It also fixes save corruption on consoles, clipping issues. People are falling out of elevators, broken missions. You can switch arms cyberware via the weapon wheel. It adjusts the vehicle radio volume. Anybody that listens to the radio like I do,
issue that
that's a neat, yeah, because the volume's really low. Like you can't hear it.
So ridiculous.
And the general performance and stability. So look forward to that, all of you Cyberpunk folks. If you're out there and you haven't got it yet, again, I just told a friend of mine today, which I'll reference again. There's never been a better time to play Cyberpunk. Like this is it. If you haven't played it, play it. If you gave up on it before, play it again. Get into it because it's a great, great, great game.
Like Idris Elba said, the game is fixed.
That's true. Speaking of games, coming to Game Pass, Gotham Knights in the Lamplighters League is already out. Warhammer 40k Darktide dropped today on the 10th. For anybody that didn't get the expansion, you can jump into Forza Motorsport from space on the 12th. And Yakuza Like a Dragon Edition is out on the 17th via Game Pass.
Was Darktide the one you were looking to get into or no?
No, that's like I believe, I don't know. I don't remember. I thought Darktide was like one of the multiplayer co-op things, but I don't remember anymore.
It is, but I
That's
thought
what
that
was
the one
thinking.
that you were looking to get into.
I never do the multiplayer ones. Every time I've ever looked them up, people have always said the balance isn't good.
Oh,
So I'm waiting on Space Marine 2. There's a new one.
Okay.
And I don't think it's coming out this year. They keep saying it's this year. I don't think it's coming out this year. They haven't announced a date yet. I'm waiting any day to have that. We're going to see you in February or whatever email.
Right. February, of course. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Not a whole lot of news. So I wrote down the games that are coming out this month. Scorn is out on PS5. Hellboy, which I'm hoping somebody plays because the gameplay isn't for me, but damn, that game does not look good. Like that looks like a great. I mean, you guys haven't seen it. It's like the comic-y Hellboy, like the style I really love.
I'm on it. At it right now.
If somebody likes it and they're like, dude, this game is dope, I'm gonna get it. Like that's all I need. Like I'm on the fence and I just need somebody to tell me like it's worth it because I think the game is.
Do you trust Delvin if he tells you it's worth it?
No.
He likes everything.
It says it comes out the 18th.
I'm not even all that into. Oh, the 18th. I've got the 4th, but maybe that's outdated information.
I'm on the PlayStation app right now.
Gotcha.
It says available 10/18.
I'm not even all that into Hellboy. I just think the game looks really good.
It looks like a comic.
As we mentioned, Mirage is out tomorrow for all our Assassin's Creed fans. We'll talk about the reviews for that. Detective Pikachu Returns drops on the 6th for one Delvin Cox.
Goat, baby.
Goat.
Nah.
Pikachu will save gaming.
SOA Recollection, Sword Art Online drops on the 6th. Forza Motorsport on the 10th.
It's a Garrett Bland exclusive.
Yeah. Looks pretty good. Wild Card Football drops on the 10th. That's from the WDB Playgrounds folks.
That's the game with Colin Kaepernick.
Kaepernick?
It is.
That's the only reason I know it exists.
I'm interested in, but it's $40, and I think that's a bit too rich. because they have like NFL players, but they don't have NFL teams. I think if they had teams, I'm in, but they don't. It's just like it's like Joe Burrow and friends, Colin Kaepernick and friends. Like it's just like backyard football. So I was like,
Just make NFL blitz the league and call it.
It seems like they're just beating around the bush. It's like if you guys don't get your shit together, just make the damn thing.
Needs to bring back EA
NFL
Sports
Street.
Stop playing. Just bring back EA Sports Big, you cowards.
I put this one in for Delvin. The Grinch Christmas Adventures out on the 13th.
Not playing that.
I know how you love your licensed stuff.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna buy it.
I'm not a Grinch.
That's your stuff, man.
You're gonna buy it. You're gonna buy it.
Absolutely.
Just be real.
A game that I'm wondering if anybody ever talks about or is even remembered. Lords of the Fallen is out on the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Game looks great.
It does.
I would like to actually play, but
sandwiched between Cyberpunk and Spider-Man and Detective Pikachu, of course. Don't lose your eyes on the goat. I'm wondering if November 1st, if anybody remembers that came out. Aren't they playing Lord of P?
Liza P.
Liza P, whatever it's the Pinocchio or whatever it's called.
That's the
one. I think
we're done with it by then.
All right.
They were all playing Mech Warrior or whatever the hell it's called, and now they're done off that, and they're on Liza P, and then Liza P will turn into Lords of the Fallen.
Facts. Yeah. Next up is Alan Wake 2. There's a chance, depending on how long I keep going Cyberpunk, there's a chance to go from Cyberpunk to Alan Wake before I get to Mirage. Probably a good chance because I'm very interested in Alan Wake. I think I've never been like that into Alan Wake. It's just everything that about Alan Wake 2 specifically. I'm like, damn, if that doesn't feel like a great game this Halloween.
And I love Alan Wake. So.
It's like a good time and place type of game. Like this looks great. Sonic Superstars out on the 17th. Nope. The 7th. Are you getting that?
Nah.
I think it's gonna be good, but I'm not getting it either. I ain't got $60 for Sonic this fall.
Yeah, no.
The 7th Guest hits VR on the 19th.
Nope.
Agatha Christie on the 19th. Endless Dungeon on the 19th. Gangs of Sherwood. Have you guys seen that?
Never heard of it.
No, I haven't.
It's a co-op. And stop me if you've heard this. It's a co-op squad-based game based on Robin Hood. Looks good.
You mean Outlaws? Outlaws, Blood and Legend.
Outlaws, but Robin Hood.
Didn't we do this already? We did this.
We do this 8 times a year, and 4 of them fail. we just keep trotting them out to the damn firing squad, one after the other. Yeah. Overpass 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, of course, on the 20th, alongside Super Mario Bros. Wonder on the 20th. Just Dance 2024, Once the Smoke, as it comes out a couple days later. Lord of the Rings, Return to Moria is out at the end of the month.
The Donnie game.
I am getting that game, but probably not in October. I think that's like on my post Mirage, like post Motorsport, post Call of Duty. That might be like my Christmas game. Okay. I might get in that to like December. Maybe we take some time off from the podcast. I might just get into Moria and just go build some shit for a while.
I like it.
Metal Gear Solid, October 24th, Ghost Runner 2, and Headbangers Rhythm Royale. And yes, I'm still getting Metal Gear Solid. And yes, the ports suck and it's not that great. And yes, I'm getting 2 copies of the game. Yes.
The answer is yes.
The
original ones that I still have. I'm fine.
That's fine. And I have those on Xbox and I play those too. But I am still looking forward to playing some Metal Gear. So some quick headlines.
Right. Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. Diablo 4 is coming to Steam on the 17th. Red Dead Redemption, the remaster, is getting a 60F patch on PlayStation 5 via PlayStation 4 backwards compatibility. Just in time as they start to sell Red Dead Redemption Remastered physically. So it's only been available digitally until next week.
I gotta wonder if that's going to be better than the backwards compatible version on Xbox.
A lot of people were saying that. I mean, I think it's like so close that we're like splintering, like we're splintering like very minute details. But I thought the coming away was that the PS4 version is better than the Xbox One version as is. So I'm sure the 60 FPS will go a bit further. I think it just has like a little bit more modern, like anti-aliasing and stuff like that, because the Xbox One version is the 360 version, just like ran through like an emulation filter, but it is that game. It does have 60 FPS though. It's a fine way to play the game, but I think if I recall Digital Foundry, I think they said that there were a couple new things that the Switch and the PlayStation version have that the Xbox version doesn't. But I don't think any of us would actually know. I don't think it's something we'd actually key in on. I dropped this one in there because I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but there is a Gold Shadow Special Edition Xbox controller that was announced, and that shit is awesome.
Gold Shadow?
It's gorgeous. I was like, they need to make the whole damn console like this. Like, I'd be here for it. Like, this looks legit. And I'm usually not into their colors specials, but the Gold Shadow, I mean, it's the hotness. Not gonna lie.
Oh, that is nice. I like that. That's cool.
I didn't know if you guys thought the same or whatnot. So that for anybody that hasn't seen it, it's got that bright gold kind of champagne fade as it goes black as you go down the controller, and it just kind of gives it like a ritzy look. It kind of looks classy. Classy.
I have
layoffs have reportedly hit Naughty Dog, specifically their contractors. There was also speculation that, Factions is like just on ice. I don't know if I ever expect to see that game again.
Yeah, it's a shame that they've talked about it and put it out there that it's coming, and it seems like it really isn't.
Yeah, they did like a whole presentation about it, and
yeah,
like, nah, forget that happened.
The Bungie seal of approval. Like, there's a whole lot of speculation that Bungie said, "No, this ain't ready," and I don't think it needs the Bungie seal of approval. Like, people really enjoyed The Last of Us multiplayer, like the original one. So if you make a just better version, updated version of that, I think you'd be fine. Like, everything cannot be Destiny. Like, we have to stop chasing that and allow things to just kind of live on their own.
Just add it to the remaster of Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Do a PS5, or they did a PS5 version, right? The update?
Not a PS5 version, just a patch. It's still a PS5
Right, it was
version.
a patch. Could they do more for a PS5 version?
I'm sure.
Does it already take advantage of the controller?
I don't know. I
thought it did.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like Ghost of Tsushima. Like Ghost of Tsushima, the PS5 version, the PS4 version, like there is a very distinct difference. Like, as amazing as it was on PS4, like the PS5 version is incredible.
I thought the patch was like performance and controller stuff. I thought that was the patch, and I was like, well, that kind of is the defense. That is the version. I'm sure they could make it a little bit better, but like that's kind of it, though.
I mean, it's Naughty Dog. They'll find a way. That's
true. Fair point. They'll put in the folks from the show instead of Karen. Just we got all new faces and shit.
Could you imagine Last of Us with like actual like really good ray tracing?
The Pascal edition. Well, they do a bunch of skins. It wouldn't shock me for them to throw them skins in there as like add-ons.
Yeah.
The contractor stuff, I mean, we're seeing a lot of layoffs right now. I think you're seeing less we're seeing more risk aversion in gaming overall. So we're starting to see studios contract or close, and we're seeing a lot of layoffs. And I think the contractor staff, the support studio is like, I would love for somebody to do like a really big feature on it, because it's kind of like this unknown, unsung hero that kind of is driving the gaming business. So like 15, 20 years ago, like a studio would launch a game and we have widespread layoffs at a studio, and everybody hated that PR and they didn't like it, but that's how the industry was. Everybody did it. So what we've done now is we have smaller studio staffs that are like more permanent, but everybody just keeps hiring support studios. And that's like your staff that comes on and goes off, and you don't fire them. The contract ends. It's the same thing, but it's different. People like it better.
Yeah.
But what we've seen with the consolidation is we've seen people snapping up studios at like an alarming rate. A lot of studios that don't have names, but were support staff for a lot of projects, and I think that's why we're seeing, I've said for a while, I think that's been a like an unsung reason why we've seen so much consolidation. It was the money, it was the use of capital, but it was also that, like, I remember when I kept talking about Activision, I was like, at the end of the day, it's human resources they're acquiring. Like, they need that. They need staff. They need stuff, whether they're making Call of Duty or not. They could use the extra hands. I I think everybody's kind of feeling that. And I've always thought that's
Absolutely.
why PlayStation's been snapping up a lot of studios that people are like, why are they buying so-and-so? Because they've probably already worked with so-and-so on something you have no idea about. They're probably buying so-and-so to help Bungie or to help Naughty Dog or to help Insomniac, to help out, to do stuff.
Yep. We all make games here, so let's all make games together.
Yeah. And the last bullet point is reviews are out now for Detective Pikachu, Mirage, and Motorsport. And in Pikachu's case, it's not very good, but shocker.
Not very good. Sound like critics is a little biased.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, a little biased.
Is it like fake news? You just like is it the Far Cry? Is Detective Pikachu getting the Far Cry treatment?
Yeah, I feel like it.
Oh yeah.
Detective Pikachu, very political game, espionage, stuff like that.
I can't wait to hear your review when you get into the game. What did that one review say? I posted a quote. Let me open the Discord. I posted a quote from one of the reviews. I didn't even read the whole review. I literally just clicked into the YouTube video. But then from there, I got there. He called it simplistic, short, and unsatisfying. I was like, God damn.
For Delvin special.
That's hard. I haven't seen somebody go hard on a game like that in a minute.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Oh, simplistic, short, and unsatisfying. Whoa. Mirage reviews are out as well. They're not stellar. They're not super great. I think it is kind of what it's supposed to be.
It's weird, reading some of those reviews. I'm like, but this is exactly what everybody said they wanted.
Yeah, and then they get that game and they're like, I don't know if I wanted this so much. There's a reason why you don't do this anymore.
This is what y'all asked for.
Yeah,
now you don't want it.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, are the people who actually going to play it because they like that Assassin's Creed are I'm waiting to see some of the user scores, because I gotta wonder if it's just the reviewers being jaded, because I think we get that sometimes where reviewers absolutely just are yeah, I'm not feeling this, but the people who actually play it are really thoroughly enjoying it.
That Far Cry effect
they were looking for.
Yeah,
like
how they feel about Pikachu.
I'm really interested. I'm more interested in the sales. I don't necessarily know about the reviews, but I'm interested in the sales, because for a while after this trilogy of Witcher clones, that's all we kept hearing is I miss Assassin's Creed the way it used to be. And if I had to make a guess, I'm guessing that Assassin's Creed sells soft. And that Ubisoft is this is why we don't make any of these.
This is why we don't listen to fans. Fuck
Kinda.
It'll be interesting.
It makes it well.
It's also a lower.
If I had to guess,
game too.
I would imagine it would be significant. I mean, Valhalla was set all of their records. It's not going to be Valhalla.
No.
That I'm positive of. The question is can it be half of Valhalla?
Yeah,
I doubt. Can it be worth the cost? That's the main thing. As long as it's worth the cost, it costs to make it.
Because it is it's a brand, so Assassin's Creed will sell. There are Assassin's Creed fans like us, like me. We're just gonna buy it anyway. I'm gonna get Assassin's Creed. So
I'm gonna get it on Ubi Plus for $15.
I'm gonna buy the game. I'm gonna get it.
I got it.
So I just don't know when I'm gonna get to it. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it.
This is the Assassin's Creed that I will play.
He didn't get the Grinch though.
No, I'm not getting the Grinch. Not getting Avatar.
I bet the Grinch is better than Detective Pikachu.
I doubt it. Detective Pikachu's a legend. How dare you?
How dare they do that to your guy? Don't be like me. I didn't do it.
The good name of Pikachu.
I'm not the one massacring your boy. Take that shit up with the Pokemon Company and this trash they're trying out there. Okay.
What is your deal with Detective Pikachu? Why?
He's awesome.
Why?
He is. The movie's dope.
The movie was great. This ain't the movie.
Delvin, awesome. Did you know that there's a Detective Pikachu Pokemon card?
I need that.
I think you should get it. It comes in holofoil and you could frame it and everything. If you're that into it, I didn't know you're that into it. You could get it. I have one, but it's kind of crinkled. I think you should get a new one.
Yeah, I might get that. I need to get that then.
I've been in a Pokemon craze. Me and Jack have been doing Pokemons all week. Dude, I've got it right here. You don't have to look. Here's my we've been making decks. I'm getting ready to play the game, about to school this kid. We've been Pokemon crazy lately.
Got to teach him well.
I got my Marowak.
Get his hopes up, then crush him. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just crush him.
I never played Pokemon. I don't collect none of them cards. Y'all can keep your goddamn
You're like a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, Dev. You just feel like you had the whole duel thing you put on your arm.
Magic.
Yeah.
Absolutely the fuck not. I played D&D. Y'all can have your cards.
D&D.
Yeah.
I do like the Pokemon the card game. We had a lot of fun. Oh, I didn't say this. I got my last booster pack from everything. He's put that tiny ass card on his wall.
Yes. How dare you, sir?
This is why Chaffee needed to be here. That was amazing.
No, he doesn't need to be here now.
You got to do it now. I need the little card over your shoulder.
This card.
Speaking of Chaffee, dude, he got me this Chucky. You guys see this?
It's awesome.
I completely
see it now.
forgot about it. Hang on. Let me do this one. Everybody say hi to Chucky.
Wanna play?
See, Delvin, that's how you make the toy actually work on camera.
No.
Chucky's
Optimus
the dude.
failed you. Chucky made it happen.
Watch this one. Hey, Chucky.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's mad. You upset him.
They just got this. Chaffee's such a great dude.
Again,
He's all right.
the toy works. This Delvin, take notes.
No.
You see that? He talked to it. It worked. You tried to talk to your Optimus, and it just failed you completely.
That was a whole thing. I forgot all about that until now.
Wow.
Yeah, I just get this package from Chaffee in the mail, like out of the blue, and he's like, "Here's this whole Chucky doll. I thought of you."
You think it was a bomb?
Chaffee treated me better than my own wife did. My wife gave me in the chat to troll my actual feelings. Chaffee's like sending me Chucky dolls from Universal Studios. I love that man so much.
He's all right.
Puts love out into the world, not your hate. Detective
That was a good
Pikachu.
dude.
I'll pick up this card.
Yeah, you got to get the card. And then Forza Motorsport. I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I have not played it at all, so obviously I'm not bringing a review. But I did look at some reviews. So this is getting a lot of buzz. There's a lot of controversy about this online, on Reddit, on Twitter. Forza Motorsports came out to what I would call middling reviews for it. Low 80s, good, but lots of 7s. And there are some side-by-side comparisons that are going viral. Because Forza Motorsport, in some of these instances, if you look at glances of it being compared to Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsport 7, looks bad. Like visually, you're like, what's going on? And I was interested because I saw some of this chatter, some of this kind of toxic gamer chatter, and I was like, I want to dig into this. So I waited today for Digital Foundry to release their deep dive. And I really started like digging into what they were saying. And then I started comparing it to see some of these games. Because sometimes people are showing comparisons look great. Other times people are showing comparisons look terrible. And I think it's kind of like an eye beholder. Like you'll do with that information what you want to do. Like if you want to make it look bad and say bad things, you will. If you want to make it look good and say the good things, you will. But ultimately, I think there's a good conversation here to be had, because my takeaway, not that this is right, but my takeaway is that the new Forza Motorsport looks more realistic than ever. And when I mean realistic, I mean like photo material realism. It looks great. Like a car on the track. So when you think about, like, if you walk out to your driveway and you look at your car and what it looks like in the driveway under the sun, that's kind of like what Forza Motorsport looks like. And a lot of people, I think, are misinterpreting that as like flat and not like good graphics, because they're used to like video game hyper realism, where the whole car looks like a mirror and it's reflecting everything, and it's like super bright. It has this highlighter yellow like look and all that. And I was like, that's an actually interesting conversation, because in some of these comparisons, like I get it, like I agree with you. Some of these like in sometimes Forza Motorsport 7 looks like a car racing movie looks like. It's super cinematic and saturated, and I do think like at times I'm like, that is better, but this looks more realistic. It's got better materials, it's got a better environment. They've done a lot to the lighting. The lighting is huge. The way lighting refracts off the different materials, you can tell the difference between like carbon fiber to like steel or plastic to leather, like especially if you're in the car view looking out over the window. There's so much to be gleaned there visually that it's very impressive. But I think what we might be seeing is with a lot of people that they subconsciously maybe prefer that hyper stylized video game look that we've been used to for 30, 40 years. Yep.
That's what ends up happening. Like everybody wants realism until they get it and realize that it doesn't.
They're like, this is boring.
What they're used to in a video game.
That makes sense.
Like, you want realism. That ain't cyberpunk where you have all the neon and everything shining, looking crazy. Like, that's not what it looks like when you actually go outside. So do you want realism or do you want a video game?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are debating that very topic today, even if they don't realize it. PSVG Kevin had a review. I think he had a review. He talked about it in the Discord. He's not a fan.
He reviewed it. Yeah.
I wasn't surprised when he said he's not a fan. Motorsport is a game, and this is where I'll bring up my friend. I have a friend of mine who's really into racing games. He has a multi-$100 like wheel set up in his house. He has like a room dedicated to his wheel with like multiple monitors. He does iRacing where he practices for like 3 hours before he sets a quali lap. Like he has a world ranking. Like he's really into it. And I was talking to him about it because he was saying some of the same things. He was like, look, he's like, I understand people are like arguing about the graphics online. He's like, at the end of the day, he's like, I could care less. He's like, how does the car feel? How does the car feel when it rains? How does the car feel track to track? How do cars feel across different cars, different mods? Like he's deep into it. And this whole time when I was watching Kev give some of his thoughts, I kept thinking that I was like, but this car isn't for Kev. And to be quite frank, I'm not attacking Kevin. This game probably isn't for me either.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't play that game for 2 hours to improve 2/10 on your lap time, like that's who that game is made for. Like they're making that game for that person who's like trying to set leaderboards and lap times on some of the greatest tracks in the world, you know, with like their favorite car. If you're like, I want to have a good time and have fun and, you know, like coming off Forza Horizon, like, this ain't for you.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think Kevin did a good job of explaining that. He's like, yeah, it's amazing. It drives, it feels real, but I'm bored with it because like I'm looking for
you're not doing that thing.
This game is amazing. It's just not amazing for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the reviews should be. Like you can't call something a 7 because it's not the enjoyable experience you're looking for, but is the game delivering what it's intending to deliver, which is a realistic driving simulator.
It sounds like they've nailed that part.
Yeah.
If they've landed that and that's what they're going for, how is that a 6? Like,
even if I've seen or I've read, I should say, on multiple occasions that it's got like a lengthy like unlock process and upgrade system, but again, like this is the heavier RPG of the two. Like that's what this Horizon throws cars to you by the bucket. But here's a bunch of cars, here's a bunch of money, go nuts. This game is like, no, you're gonna do some laps before you like upgrade your performance tires or your brakes and things like that. You know, like this, it's just that's why I've always been like lukewarm on this. Like I want to try it because I've never been more into cars than I have been this year, and I know some of these tracks. But even today, when just chatting with Kevin, you know, I kind of said the quiet part out loud. Like, if I wanted to get into like who can set the fastest lap in the Nürburgring and stuff, like part of me is just like, I have F1 for that, and I would probably play with those cars in that environment for that like competitive level. Like, I don't necessarily think I want to do that like with a Miata or a Civic. Like, I don't, who cares?
No.
So motorsport's just not high on my to-do list. And if you were wondering why, that's why. I'm going to play Cyberpunk. I'm going to play Mirage. I'm going to play Alan Wake. One day I will
video games. I
will take motorsport for a spin and see what happens. Maybe I play it. But I'm not too.
So I'm looking at the side-by-side comparison videos. Forza looks way better than Gran Turismo.
See, and I've seen like 10, 12 posts saying the exact opposite because I think people, they like that glossy, reflective. Yeah.
Gran Turismo, like looking at it side by side to Forza, looks like a toy.
The fact that it has,
looks like a toy
on Series X, and I should be clear, Digital Foundry made it clear, and so did PC Gamer before I even watched Digital Foundry. This game on PC is a whole other level than console. Console is like it's good, but it's not great. It's got like its own issues, but it is 4K. They have a ray tracing mode that runs at 60 on console, and like that's actually probably as good as you could hope for.
That's what I'm looking at. And
that's pretty damn good.
It looks great, and it to me, it just makes Gran Turismo look like a Tonka toy. Like everything is just way too shiny. The green, like the grass is way too green. It's way too bright. It doesn't look like.
And if I was playing both, I would probably be on the side of people that probably side with Gran Turismo because I like that saturated look. Like I kind of get it. Like I mean, seeing it, I understand, but I kind of get it because I saw one shot Forza Motorsport 7. It was cloudy in the rain, had all these puddles everywhere and everything. I was like, dude, that looks dope. Like that looks like a movie, but it does look like a movie. Like when I watched Forza Motorsport today, I was like, that just looks real. Like that looks like I'm watching television.
Yep, that's exactly. I'm looking at it. It's like it looks like cinema. Like it to me, that looks incredible. Like it,
and when
all the colors look right.
Yeah. Yep. And when Digital Foundry was like, let me show you the lighting and like slow it down, and you see the lighting and how it dulls off of dull surfaces and shines off. I was like, oh shit! Like now, when you see that side by side, you're like, oh, this looks amazing. It just doesn't have that like in a clip art, like in a snippet then side by side. It doesn't jump off the page as much.
Yeah,
you got to see it moving.
Even like when it's still, like I think for me, like the things that I always look at when I look at like video games, I look at grass. I'm always looking at grass to see how green are you gonna make this shit, because grass.
Yeah, and you've always teased me about me and my saturated color. I get it. I do. I love it. Let's do it.
That ain't
even the ally. Like. I turn up the chrome on the ally like 10%. I'm like, let's make these reds a little more red.
Yeah, it's like it's way too saturated. So yeah, to me, the Forza, it just the shadows, the colors, like they look right. So it has that really cinematic look, and to me, it looks incredible.
I can't wait I will report more from my friend on how he takes the motorsport. He's really into iRacing and stuff, so I don't expect that this is going to take over his world, but like whatever he tells me, I take his gospel on this stuff because like this is his life. Like this is all he plays this year round. You know, like I'm a casual race car fan. And I even told him today, I was like, I may take it for a spin. I was like, but to be honest with you, I might just keep playing some Motorfest, man. I really like Motorfest. That shit was the crew Motorfest was really good. So like, I don't necessarily need another car game. No rumors for this week. So Dev, you're clear. Take over the Rude Day segment.
Let's go. First of all, fuck y'all. All right. Score is Delvin and Donnie 20. Me with the
closed the gap.
So yeah, all of us got the over on Mirage wrong, and Donnie picked up a point with choosing the under on Forza.
Thank you.
Damn shame. Also, as the end of the year approaches, there are 10 questions that you guys can score on that you predicted throughout the year, so everyone still has a chance.
Yeah, we still got Wonder and Spider-Man, and I'm sure we'll do Call of Duty and all that other stuff.
We got time. So the first one is over or under on 82.5 for Alan Wake 2. The Alan Wake remaster got a 79, while Control from the same dev team got an 82.
So Delvin, you and I are tied now. I think we should split on who goes first on which question. You're muted.
You're muted. Or maybe not muted. For me, I just see an X on his Wi-Fi, on his like bandwidth. So I don't know.
Yeah, I can't hear a thing he's saying.
Nope, not at all. Not even a little bit. He just keeps talking.
Well, I guess I'll take the first one, and here's hoping he can rejoin us with some audio soon. So I'll take Alan Wake 2, and I think the 82.5 is a really good line. And I personally, there's a part of me that really wants to take the under, but I want to believe in this game. I think it's probably gonna have some performance issues based on the previews, but like, I kind of like what they're doing, and I think it's hitting at the right time for people. And I think it's gonna be kind of like the darling. Spider-Man and everything else comes out, so I kind of think it's going to get reviewed well, even like under the table. I think it's going to come out closer to 85. Maybe that's too rich, but I'm going to take the over because I think it's going to be in the 84-85 range.
I don't know shit about Alan Wake, but I'm just going to take the under just because what I got to lose at this point.
Okay. Delvin, we have nothing. I think you need to rejoin the call.
Yeah. You can also put your answer in chat because apparently that still works. No, never mind. He's gone now. Goodbye, Delvin.
Did you take the over or the under?
I took the under.
Take the under. I think it's smart.
Take the under.
I think it's smart because it's every time I've seen people play it, they're like, I really love what I'm doing, but they've always been like, but it kind of runs like trash. And I'm wondering if I can hold it back a little.
And the fact that like it's running, it was made to run at 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
I think that's also going to really sway some people. Like this is.
I'm hoping the
what are we
story
doing?
turn. I'm hoping the reviewers snatch on the story. If the story's good, the game could run at 15 frames a second. They wouldn't give a shit. Look at Nintendo. They don't care.
But it's not on Nintendo. If it was a Nintendo game, sure.
If it was on a Nintendo game, it'd be 89.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's a Switch exclusive, it should be 94.
Switch bump. Next up is the over or under 70.5 for Sonic Superstars. Frontiers received a 71, while the last 2D Sonic game got a 66 in 2012.
I was totally going to let Delvin take the first one. He's not here, so I'll take the lead. I'm absolutely going over. I think it's going to be way over that. Sonic's going to be every bit as a 79 to 83, I think.
I think so.
I do. Yeah.
Didn't we feel that way about Frontiers? And it only got a 71.
That's fair, and I like Frontiers. I think they got it wrong on that one, but this is the Sonic that people know. See, Frontiers was pushing the rock up the hill. It's trying to be Odyssey, and people don't want, Mario to be its thing. It was like a Breath of the Wild thing. This is the Sonic that people know. It runs at 60 on Switch, so there's no performance issues to lag anybody back. This is just like Sonic and Friends, Mario Bros, good old classic new Sonic game. Sonic's super popular. They've got the movies. I think 70.5 is, I personally think it's way too low. I would spot you points. I think it's at least I think it's in the 80s, but I think it's at least over 78.
I agree. And I think comparing it to the last 2D Sonic game from 2012 is not an apt comparison.
Yeah,
I think
same.
we should compare this to something like Sonic Mania, which got an 86.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more in that range. I'm thinking it'll be
definitely
in the 80s.
Taking the over, because that 70.5 is extremely low, coming off something like Sonic Mania, which people really enjoyed and scored well. So
this could be. We can.
Yeah, we can.
This could be 82, and I'd probably take the over versus the under. So at 75, at 70.5, I don't. Yeah, this game is just like a 70. I'd be surprised. That one would be. I'm like, wow, because everybody that's played it that I've seen loves it. Every podcaster that went out to summer game, anybody that's laid hands on it, they're like, it's fun. It's Sonic game. I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's gonna blow people away. It's not gonna be a 90 or anything, but I think a lot of people are gonna be like, good.
This is the Sonic game we've been waiting for. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. And I look forward to playing it on Black Friday for $25.
Right.
I can get it much cheaper.
Correct.
So Donnie, Delvin, over or under 82.5 for Alan Wake Deuce?
I'll go under on Alan Wake.
Okay.
And I'll go over on Sonic.
All right. There you
have it.
We'll see what happens.
Lock it in.
Well, thank you very much for giving us our over-unders root days. We appreciate you, the unofficial fourth chair of the podcast.
100%.
Keep them coming, and hopefully I'll catch up to these bastards.
It's only a couple points.
Only a couple.
You're there.
Right there.
Nah.
All right.
No hope.
Let's get into some
Delvin said nah.
You go enjoy your sorry-ass Detective Pikachu, okay?
Goddamn right I will, damn.
Game seriously looks like a scholastic book at your dentist's office or something. It just... I tried to tell you, man. The 3DS game was not good. It's
looks
and
like
look.
a highlights book.
I don't mean to just crush it. It's clearly made for young school children. That's
Me?
it's clearly made for a second grader.
Me.
I think I could give Detective Pikachu to Jack, and he'd be like, "This is boring as hell." It's so boring. And it's okay. I like a boring game. So. But if it's a boring game, why does it look so flat and plain if it's such a slow, boring? Make it look awesome. They didn't even do that. Nah, this looks like some hand-drawn clip art that we're moving on top of each other.
This is my jam.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
I appreciate that you're back in a mediocre game, because I do that from time to time. I understand that space.
Just gotta go. I'm already all in. Can't go back now, baby.
You're the hero that they need. You got to come to Shaq and hype up Detective Pikachu. Defend Pikachu's honor.
Yeah.
Be like, you don't need to get Spider-Man this fall. Do what I'm doing. Play Detective Pikachu instead.
And Rebecca can
Well, they can
tell
play
you how
Mario
wrong
Wonder.
you are, much like
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same thing here.
Even Rebecca's like, you're out of your damn mind.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I have to
It's this.
bring Shaq up to.
It's
No.
on you to
Everybody's
save.
just bashing this Nintendo game. I have to save it.
Good luck.
Dude,
Good luck.
it's
So
what is
it
it?
shouldn't be Detective Pikachu will save gaming. It should be Delvin will save Detective Pikachu.
It's $50.
Yes. It's a
Like if it was
steal.
$9.99, it'd be
A
like, well,
steal.
you know, like sure.
They're a steal from
steal.
you. They are stealing from you.
You could get Sonic Superstars instead.
No. I guarantee it's gonna be better than the last Pokemon game.
What
Can't
was the
be
last
worse.
one?
I don't remember. It wasn't.
Arceus remake?
I think it was.
I think all of those are better.
No, it was Arceus.
I'm telling you,
Every-
I wish you'd have played
everything's
the.
better,
I hope you love it. Come tell me I'm wrong.
I don't.
Prove me wrong.
I hope he hates it. I hope it's every bit as bad as we tell him. I hope I can shame him into quitting it like I did for
you know
Gotham
he's gonna
Knight.
play it out of spite. He's gonna put 13 hours into it out of spite. He's like,
Yes,
I'm not letting Dev get to me. Fuck it. I'm gonna keep playing this
Yes,
game.
I am. I will love it out of spite. Just because
He's
they're
like-
to leave, I hope he hates it.
He's
I
like,
will
I
love
gotta get a screenshot of the credits just for Dev. I gotta be like, roll credits on this motherfucker.
Either
Yes.
way, I win. If you got to play this mediocre game out of spite, I'm still winning.
I'm gonna love it so much. It's gonna be my game of the year. Just to spite
Dev's playing
Dev.
Cyberpunk, talking about how awesome Idris Elba is, and here's Delvin over here.
Yeah.
Oh man,
We're part of
who
Detective
broke the
Pikachu.
teapot? It looks like a Dora
Yeah.
the Explorer game with Pikachu. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's what I'm talking about. Who broke the teapot, baby?
Oh,
It was
man.
goddamn Squirtle.
Crime of our century.
Yes,
What if it gets really dark?
kind of puck.
You know, like what if it's like,
I hope it does.
who's the father?
Like-
Goes all Maury Povich
Yeah.
and shit at the end. You're like, whoa!
Yeah. Bulbasaur's a crack dealer. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
That sign me up. See if we can do
Bulbasaur's
like
pushing weight?
if we can do like Wolf Among Us, but Pokemon, sign me up.
Now
Yeah.
that's a Pokemon game. I might
That's the
play.
Pokemon
Yeah.
game we can get behind.
Mhm.
Squirtle's running a meth lab. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go.
Ponyta's slinging on the streets, and you're like, whoa! What the?
Yeah.
Cubone is out here being a pimp.
Detective Pikachu is an
Yeah.
alcoholic police officer whose like wife divorced him. He's got-
Yes.
Oh my god, it sounds like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I love it. That's the
100%.
Pikachu game we need.
Oh man,
Nintendo, I love it.
Nintendo, come talk to us. Let's make this game happen. Oh man,
Pikachu's at a bar. He's like, I used to be somebody. Cubone's the crime boss, walked around with a cane. Fucking jacket on it. That's too
Nintendo
good.
game we need.
That's a great idea. Wow.
oh man, we need somebody to draw that. Like make that a
Trademark.
comic or something. Jeez,
TM, it's a verbal trademark.
we just gave you gold.
They'd make so much
Oh.
money. That's the thing, is they'd be like, we could never do
so
that.
much money.
That shit would slay. It could be
Mhm.
cringy and terrible as possible, and it would sell gangbusters.
Yep. Damn. Now I want that to actually happen. Oh no. Wow.
Raven says, a Pokemon game not for your kids. Drunk alcoholic Pikachu played by Ryan Reynolds and Tracy Lords' ex-girlfriend.
See, that's the game we need.
Gold. Gold. Now that's the Detective Pikachu game that you should be playing, Delvin. But you won't be.
That's what he
Well,
thought he was
Lord
getting when he
Explorer.
signed up. And he was like, oh shit.
Pretty much.
They aren't who we thought they were.
Hmm.
All right,
Who
so
I
I'm
told
gonna
them
send
they
these
were.
questions that were left over from last week. You guys didn't do them.
I thought we did most of
Yeah,
them.
we gave up.
There were some
Yeah.
that were still there. So
Okay.
first
Right.
question comes from TPR. He says, "I just saw the first Texas Chainsaw
Oh, we did
Massacre
that
for
one.
the first time. You did that one? Okay.
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah, we did
Damn
that
it, Telvin. Gotta do the notes.
You gotta delete the things that you actually. What good are
Absolutely
you?
not.
What good are you?
Why would I do
All right.
that?
Inefficient. All right, so TPR's actual question, and I know this one you guys didn't do because I saw it this morning. He says, "How on board would you be with an underwater Far Cry? Imagine a Rapture, but you're pulling out all the stops and can freely go from place to place."
100%. That works. You know what you call it?
I'm on board.
Atlantis.
I like it.
Far Cry Atlantis. I'm fine with it.
Bermuda
It's just Far
Triangle.
Cry.
Yeah.
Like you
I
can
like
do
it.
this in a lot of different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That totally works. I'd love any like horror themed Far Cry. So I'm thinking underwater. I'm thinking of all the underwater movies and things like that, and aliens, Bermuda Triangle, things like that.
The Abyss.
Absolutely, all this works. Sounds fun.
Fine with me as long as the characters are fun.
Shit,
That's
you could
all I
make a Far Cry flavored BioShock game, and I'd be down for it. It'd be better than Avatar. Like if Avatar was
Way
just
better.
BioShock, like yeah, here for it. Let's do that shit. Let's blow some shit up.
Yeah.
Fuck Avatar.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
That
good.
too.
You're gonna love it.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
It's gonna be your
amazing.
game of the
I'm
year.
not playing that shit.
I'm waiting for the reckoning that
Absolutely
we all
not.
get when it comes out and everybody loves it. I can't wait for the media to be like, who would have known this open world shooter is amazing? Where you climb towers and open up segments and Avatar's the best. They're giving like 9.5s. I'm like, you motherfucker.
You assholes. It's just Far Cry. It's just
Right.
Far Cry.
Just
Right. They're going to
Far
talk
Cry.
about how novel
you
and
all.
new it is. And it's like, it's the same damn thing.
Look, it's just Danny Rojas, but she's blue.
Yeah. They changed the name and everybody's on board. They're like, oh man, the Avatar love story
Yeah,
between these two characters, you're blowing up villages is next level.
Mhm.
And I still won't play that shit. That game can still fuck off. Nope. Absolutely not. That game can get all 10s, and I can guarantee you this. I won't be buying it.
Because
You
would be
give
too
it to me
busy
and I'll get
playing
that shit back.
Detective Pikachu.
I'm going to play it at some point. I don't like
Goddamn
Avatar,
right.
but I'm going to
I'm
play it at
not
some
playing
point.
I
I'm
hate
gonna give it a
that.
try.
Avatar. I
I'll
have
be-
Avatar with a passion. I would not play that.
It's easy enough to just forget that people are blue when I'm just playing Far Cry.
I'm going to give it a try.
Nope.
Hey, you playing first person.
Nope.
They're blue. I'm not blue.
Yeah. I'm killing the blue people. So now it's even better.
We'll see.
winning.
I'm not going to buy it like
Not
full
playing.
price, but I might
No.
UB Plus.
Ubisoft Plus. It'll be
just
plus.
to
Maybe
try it.
$15. Let's
Or if
go.
they do like a Motorfest thing and they're like, here, you can just play the game for a weekend. I'm like, I'm definitely
I
going to
feel like if I play it, I'm encouraging them to make more. So no.
D-Life hitting Delvin hard with the facts in the chat.
Yeah.
See,
But
like,
you want to encourage this
I
instead.
don't care.
You want to encourage a
Yes.
68.
I don't care. Who gives a fuck what a Metacritic says?
Ravens
You
do
get
play
paid off anyway.
with a yellow squirrel, but won't play grown ass Smurfs.
Goddamn right, because fuck Avatar. Avatar sucks. The series sucks. There's nothing about Avatar. Like only Avatar like is the last Airbender. Rest of it can fuck off. Nope, not playing it. Can't stand it.
We finally found something that Delvin doesn't like.
We
I hate
did.
Avatar. Nope, don't like it.
What did it do to you? Did it steal your girlfriend? Like what happened? Like who hurt
No.
you? Who hurt you?
No, I just hate
Need a
the
hug?
whole. The movie's bad. The movies are bad, and James Cameron talking about it so much makes me hate it even more.
I mean, that's fair. James
Because he
Cameron's
sits there-
obnoxious. Yeah,
Jim
that's a
Cameron.
lot.
Let's
Yeah, he's
Jim
very
Cameron.
obnoxious
It's a lot.
about it. And he
Not about
does,
it.
like,
Just
shit
in
like-
general. He's just
Yeah,
about
in general,
it's just
in
that's
general.
his life. It's just him. He is him.
But then he throws it in your face. I hate it. I can't. No, fuck.
pretty-
fuck Avatar.
pretty bad.
Avatar's horrible.
I'm waiting for the inevitable heel
Not
turn
doing
where he talks about how great Avatar is.
Yeah, I enjoy. I had no problem with
That's not
Avatar.
happening.
I
He's
enjoyed
about to turn faster
not
than
movie.
Paul White's career. He's about to turn.
Nope.
it. Avatar was a fine
Not with
movie.
Avatar.
You're committed to the
Good
bit.
movie.
Not
do.
at all. I hate Avatar.
Yarden, I don't know if this is a real question or just you're just here for shits and giggles, but he says Pacific Rim turned 10 over the summer. How freaking awesome is that movie?
It's not.
I
I
enjoyed
don't
it.
like Pacific Rim.
I enjoyed it. It's like it was
It's good.
fine for what it was. The
It's a
CG
movie.
effects
Yeah.
were huge. That one's a bit. It's I don't know. It's a little different for me. I think Charlie Hunnam was like perfectly cast, time and place to be Jax Teller in Sons of Anarchy. It was like that's his thing. And my wife and I watched that shit. That was like must see TV for us for years. And then like Pacific Rim was like I'm not sure if it was his first, but like to us, it's like his first big non Sons of Anarchy role that we all wanted to watch. And what we've come to learn since Pacific Rim and everything he's done since is that outside of Jax Teller, he's just terrible.
Yeah, he's not a good actor.
So
all.
like it hurt that first time a little bit more. Idris Elba's in Pacific Rim. It's pretty stellar. And it's
Yeah.
got some
I don't
crazy
even know who
action
Charlie
scenes
Hunnam
and
is, so.
it's like a sci-fi thing in its
Sons
own
of
thing.
Anarchy.
I mean, I know that. I've never seen Sons of Anarchy, and so I don't know who this character is.
It's the blonde white guy.
I don't even
Yes.
remember him. I remember Idris Elba and I remember Charlie Day. Those are the only
Okay.
characters I remember from.
Well, my wife would tell you he's like the pretty white boy.
Oh yeah, he's forgettable.
The girls were really into him. And then the funniest thing is that in the show, he plays like this really hard nosed, like troubled biker and like American. And then when you see him off script, he's totally Australian, has this heavy accent. Like it's very funny. Like it's very
Walking Dead.
yeah, like it's very different from what everybody got attracted to and caught up on. And then you see him outside, you're like, and he's kind of prissy, like for a man. He just couldn't be anything remotely different than that character.
Actors are just professional liars. They're just really good liars.
I've always teased my wife about that one. I'm like, that's your dude, right? With the hand sanitizer.
But yeah, Pacific Rim. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it, and I usually like them both. Movies, but it just
I like Pacific Rim, and I like Pacific Rim too. I enjoyed them.
I don't remember the difference between the two, but I feel like I like the second one more. Is that the common thing or the uncommon thing? I thought I liked the second one more. Yeah. I thought the first one was pretty.
Yeah, I think I like
it. Was okay. It was kind of mediocre, but it was all right. It was a fun watch, I guess. Cool. I haven't seen it in 10 years. I also don't even remember.
Yeah, I've only seen it the one time. I've only seen both of them the one time. It's like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah, I remember watching and that like being my thing. Like, oh, that was cool, but he's not that great, but he's really good, and more or less, it's fine. Like a Fast and Furious movie. Like, all right,
basically.
It's not super cinematic. I didn't grow as a person or anything, but that car looked cool and that was fun.
Yeah. There were some giant things and they killed some other things
and exploded some things. Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I've done worse in an hour of my life than this.
Exactly. Mathman has a good one for us. He says, if you could visit your teen self and show off any video game, what would it be? Would you go for shock value, graphic fidelity, story, or something else? Would you choose something from this generation or from a few years back that was novel in what it did, like the Wii or the 3DS?
The thing that pisses me off is that I was a teen when the Wii came out. He's like, so if you go back and show yourself a teen thing, would you do something older and weird like the Wii? Would you show your teen self the Wii? Like, motherfucker, I was a teen.
You're like, show yourself the Wii. Like, yeah, I have that right over there.
Yeah, I did. I showed my teen self the Wii.
Well, it's over there. Why are you showing me this thing again? So nothing's changed.
Like, we got two Wiis? Why do we have two?
The Wii again?
I saw this question coming in the chat and I was like, this motherfucker.
Man, the Wii was 17 years ago. Jesus.
I graduated in 2006, high school.
Oh, damn. You really were a teen.
Yeah, I really was. Like, that was the Wii. I've always said I bought my first consoles like at launch was the Wii and the 360.
I was 25.
Yeah.
But on to the question. What would you go show your teen self?
I think it'd be fun to show my teen self the remake of Resident Evil 2.
Oh, yeah?
While I'm playing the original version. Hey, look
good
what
one.
you're going to be playing soon. He's like, oh, shit, this looks cool. Why am I playing this shit? Yeah, I know. Bye. Just fuck with him.
I feel like people would guess this answer. I would love to go back to my teen self that just bought a Wii playing Twilight Princess, like fucking waving my hand around and be like, you know what? This is the open world Zelda game you're going to be playing in a few years. I'm like, that would have blown my teen mind's fucking mind. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, if I could show them Breath of the Wild back then on an actual controller, that would have been amazing.
I mean, you show my teen self fucking anything from, we were playing.
You're playing that Atari. You're playing shit. Haunted House and shit.
Like, man.
You know, CJ reached out to me. Chris reached out to me. He DM'd me. He's like, for the record, you're welcome back to the podcast. I was like, oh, that's super nice.
He's lying. You're full of shit. You're lying.
We gotta have Chris on here. We gotta bring Chris over. I know we have a long show. I've been hesitant to reach out to guests because we go so long these days, but I would love to have Chris over, even if he like just hangs up for an hour and bounces. It'd be nice.
I think I'd go back and show my teen self Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh yeah, that's right in that Delvin wheelhouse. This is what you're playing. This is what it's gonna look like. That would blow your mind. That would blow my mind. I'd be like, Dev shows up in my life. I'm like 8 years old. He's like, Final Fantasy Remake. I'm like, it still sucks. but it looks good though.
Terrible.
But you know what?
And that'd be Donnie showing me any dumbass Nintendo thing. Like, what is this shit? I'm already playing this. Like, what are you talking about?
Quite frankly, I never played Final Fantasy VII, but I had a friend that did, so I sat in his living room while I watched him play. I would love if Time Portal opens up, right? And Doctor Strange like does the wheelie shit, and Dev walks out, and he's like, "This is Final Fantasy VII Remake," and I'd be looking at my friend, I'm like, "Why don't you play this? Like, this could change my whole life. If that had happened then instead of now, like this is what I had in my head. I was like, this is what it should be. Why are you playing with that? Like, that's terrible. You're trying to change discs and shit. Like, what are you doing, man?"
Oh my god.
Like, can you imagine like showing your younger self that, then knowing you have to wait like 10 years to play that?
10? More than that? Like, 20.
Would that be like Torment? Like, if you could time travel, and like you just go back to 1995 and you pick up like a PlayStation 1, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, my original, like my gut for this answer is like nothing. I wouldn't want to live with that knowledge and have to. I'd feel like Cartman. I feel like Cartman. I'd want to freeze myself. Can I freeze myself until this thing drops because I gotta wait this long for this? Nah. I have this knowledge of what games are gonna be, and I gotta still play this shit.
I'm playing the Wii or Medal of Honor on Wii, and I come out and like, this is Call of Duty Remake in 2020. Oh god.
It's called or better yet, playing like NBA Live 95, and here's NBA 2K23.
Yeah.
Just, oh my god. Yeah.
Fun exercise.
Next up from John 32, as he said, have you ever had any desire for your name or likeness to be immortalized in a video game? If you were given this opportunity, which game or franchise would you want to be a character in?
Hashtag shoot Donnie in the face.
All of
Detective Pikachu and Delvin solving the crimes of Miami.
Yeah. Damn right.
Whose crack is this?
Detective Pikachu Miami Nights Edition featuring Delvin Cox.
Miami Vice. Wow.
That's the game.
I would love to be in a video game. That'd be great. I mean, that'd just be a lot of fun to see myself, because I think as gamers, we always like, I don't always anymore, but we all grew up like kind of creating ourselves in games and we see ourselves in games. It'd be cool to actually be a character in a game.
Yeah. I
have this like fantasy, like this daydream that I think about every now and again. I think about like, if I could be like a consultant or like a feedback engineer on a game, like a golf game, I would love to make like a Hot Shots clone, but implement like all the things that I wish Hot Shots did mechanically. And then I always think of like, but making PSVG like the main character, like a tour. So like you have like the low level tour, and then like the US tour, and the national tour, and then like the world tour, and then like you get to like the PSVG tour, and we're like the main boss, and like every character has its own flavor and like its own course. Like I kind of gestate on that idea, like all these mechanics that I would add to Hot Shots to make like the Hot Shots game but feel modern and more. I think with golf games like that, I think they're too predictable. Like you need to add a flavor of randomness to like level the playing field. So like I think of all these different weird geeky mechanics that I would do to like Hot Shots to make it like the ultimate golf game, but then make it cartoony.
Like my character would just straight up cheat. Like he would just grab the ball.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. he kicks the shit out of the rough into the fairways. Like you didn't see that. Or like, like in Hot Shots, you hit the ball and then you snap to it. And when you snap to it, like he's just 20 yards further than he was. You're like, you didn't hit it that far. He's like, yeah, I did. Did you see it? Like, this is it. Like this, I hit it here. That's on you. Like everywhere you hit it, he's like just in front of you. He's just always like a foot in front of you. He's like, don't hit my ball.
Just turn it into basketball. I'd be shooting.
That works. Yeah. Like Dev loses. He's like, I don't like this game anyway.
Yeah. Shooting.
Like, you think you got something? He's like, can you hit this? Can you hit this jump shot? I don't give a shit about this game. Like you sink a birdie and it's like Dev didn't even finish the hole. Like he never teed off. He's like, he left. He's just like, you win. He left.
He just walked off the wall. Yeah. This sounds like the game we need.
Yeah, I've always thought of that. I've thought of doing like, I would love to add like little random things in Hot Shots to where like, like I've always said instead of like having the power bar, like you take the bar away, you still give them the 3-click, but you take the bar away. So you have to like judge like distance on feel. And then like if you hit their ball out of their fairway or something, or on a slope or something, like in today's game or all of their games, if you hit it anywhere that's not perfect, your control bar gets a little shorter, but it's still easy. Like everybody just hits perfect shots all day. So what I would do is instead of making the control bar smaller, if you hit it on a slope, you hit it in the bunker, you hit it in the tall grass or whatever, I would introduce like a random element to the game that's just like procedurally generated, just like real golf, to where like you can hit it and you may think you did everything perfect, but you know what? You're on the side of a hill, so it was 10% less than you thought it was going to be, just because. And then like make people manage their mishits. I think that would be a really fun golf game. I think people would think it's cheap, but it would be very competitive.
I like it.
Sorry,
Okay.
I just went super geeky. I've been smoking.
No, I'm here for it.
That's my
It
problem.
works. It works.
Like I'm here unwinding a terrible 2 days, and I'm like, wow, I just did 10 minutes on a golf game that doesn't exist. My bad.
I mean, but it should exist. You know, that's the thing. You should make it.
It sounds
happen.
fun though, right?
We're giving out gems tonight.
It sounds good though. Like in my head, I'm
Yeah.
like cooking, and I'm like, how would I make the perfect golf game?
Yeah.
We should just
Absolutely.
make this PSVG golf.
I wish I could. Like I wish I had the skills. I would. I think I would make a great golf game.
We need somebody to just make that happen. Like, come talk to Donnie. Let's get this PSVG golf game
Jules,
off and
let's
cracking.
get that Kickstarter going. We get two
Let's
easy
go.
next game.
That's not a good idea. Absolutely
What game
not.
do you want to be immortalized in, Delvin?
Take the Pikachu.
Really? Like, that's really your answer? That's your final answer?
That's my answer today.
Oh my god! I want to be like a fixer in Cyberpunk.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
That's good. Fixer Dev, Ripper Duck.
Mhm.
Gotta get down to
Let's
Dev,
go.
take care of you. That's good.
Let's make it
That
happen.
fits
I like the
really
games I can
well too.
immortalize in.
Let's get this money.
I'd be killed, so no. That's why I say I'll be in Detective Pikachu with the safe.
He's in Detective Pikachu. He's also a fixer, but he's just in a different game.
Yeah.
Detective Pikachu's like arresting Delvin. He's like buying games illegally and shit. And he's like, I'm at the GameStop. He's like, this shit's goddamn Japanese restaurant. You sit outside Chinese restaurant. Damn.
Down the corner, Self and Delvin the fake games is actually a plant.
Now that sounds like the game I need to be in.
Detective Pikachu's trying to solve the game. How did Breath of the Wild or how did Tears of the Kingdom break Street Date?
You see how this looks, right?
Yes.
Delvin.
Yeah, Pikachu's like, we've got you with RICO charges. We got your whole crime ring. We're bringing the whole damn thing down. Oh, that's
Gamer
funny.
Guy Lou. He says, can't remember if I've asked this before, but what's a game from your childhood that you have fond memories of, but can't remember actually finishing? His was Paper Mario. He's 90% sure he beat it, 95% sure he made it to the final boss. But at this point, I guess I'll wait and find out on Switch next year. So something that you played,
but never finished.
but never finished. I mean, is there really any finishing Paperboy?
There's
I've never finished Mario Sunshine. I never liked it that much.
oh, that's a good one.
I have fond memories of it. Like it sticks out, but I can never like play the whole thing. Like I always
I've
got
never
tired of
finished
5,
any
10 hours
Mario
in.
game.
None
Never
of them?
finished a single Mario game. No, I don't like
How
Mario.
is that
like
possible?
Easy. There are other
Not
games
even
to
a
play.
kid?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's
I played
tough.
them,
Not
but it
that
just
young.
wasn't.
Any Mario game? That's
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah. That's
So while you were
there was
playing
a part where there
Mario,
was nothing but Mario games. What were
no,
you
that's
playing?
not true. I was playing Metroid. So
Well,
when I got my Nintendo with Duck Hunt, Mario, and Metroid, and I played Metroid. And the next game I got was Mega Man, and I played Mega Man. Like I just was never that into Mario, so I've never beat any Mario game. I've played a lot of them, but I've never
Not even
beat a
Mario
single one.
3, the one that everybody beat.
I didn't beat it.
That's a
I
sad
didn't even
You
own
beat it
Mario
quickly
3.
too.
I didn't even know Mario 3. That was not a game that I cared to get.
I'm looking through a
I
list of old
never got into Mario.
games because the fondness is hard. I don't know if I ever finished the first God of War or
I finished that one.
what was the other one? Devil May Cry 3. I don't know if I ever finished them. I think I finished Devil May Cry 3, but I don't at this point I don't even remember anymore. It's hard to keep up.
You know what? Vice City.
Oh
I
yeah?
think I finished Vice City in there.
I can understand that. A lot of the missions are samey, but I love the story. I mean, that's my favorite
Yeah.
one.
I know I
finished
finished
that one a
San
couple
Andreas.
times.
Same.
I
I
know
didn't finish San
three.
Andreas. I didn't finish
Oh,
San Andreas.
I never
finished
really
3.
liked San Andreas. I had a really hard time like adapting to like it's I don't know, like it's a world, but I feel like it's gameplay mechanic and like it just its introduction. I always struggled with.
I loved it.
That one I didn't finish.
Yeah, I think it's the black one. So it just drew me.
I hate
just
that
on the
that's
fact
said
that
because
it was-
that's not the reason, but sure.
But for me, that's why it drew me in. It's like this is LA. This is the hood. Like it spoke to me on that level. So it just automatically drew me, but I never finished it. It was just too fucking long.
I know every time they put me on that bike, it just like put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, for me, that's like this feels right.
Is this what we're gonna do?
Yeah, it did.
It felt right because it just like that's such a thing.
I tried it again when the remasters came out, and I played it for like 2 or 3 hours, and started playing something else. Like it just never stuck with it, and it's most people's favorite. I think most people I've ever come across like they think favorite. that's the one, and yeah, I think I think it was just I love Vice City so much, and it's such a departure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of always like I look at it and I'm like, if I'm going to play an old Grand Theft Auto game, I'd rather play the one that I like the most.
Yeah, 3 is actually my favorite. Vice City is right there. But San Andreas is not one that I've ever wanted to play again. Like it was cool for its time, but it's not something I'd ever want to go back to. And I didn't finish it. Like once I got the jetpack, that was all I ended up doing was just flying around with that thing. But I just never finished the game because I was just like, it's too long, and I'm just not that interested. Like the story it just didn't all come together for me. But Vice City and 3 I'd play over again, and I enjoyed those stories way more than San Andreas.
I also wonder if I was just playing other things. I don't know. Like as much as I love Grand Theft Auto, I just never played that one much. I never gave it a huge chance. Never came back to it. I kind of skipped it. Really.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was my last 2. I mean, it came out in 2004, so I was like my junior year. That actually kind of makes a lot of sense for like personal reasons. There were other games that came out, but to be honest with you, a lot of these games that came out the year, like Halo and a lot of these, I didn't play any of those games because my junior and senior year in high school, I was working multiple jobs. I had an apartment. I was moving a lot. I changed schools a few times. That actually might be it more than anything, is I just kind of skipped it. And then when I did get around to it, I just always felt like, well, if I was going to play this one, I'd just play the one I like the most.
Makes sense. Ooh, I know a game that I have super fond memories of that I never finished. Secret of Mana. That is
I never played that game.
Yeah, Super Nintendo RPG.
Mm.
The likes of like Chrono Trigger or whatnot. That was a game that I absolutely loved and have very, very fond memories of, but just never finished it because I didn't own it. Like one of my friends had it. That was one of those cartridges. It was $70. Like that was a $70 Super Nintendo game. So like I just never got it, and I'd rent it from time to time. One of my friends had it, but I never finished it.
I never finished I never finished Mario 64 until years later. Like I think I had moved on to GameCube, or maybe even Wii before I ever went back and was like, I want to beat this game. Like at the time in the late 90s, I was kind of still a kid. I kind of just played 64 because it was fun to play. I wasn't like trying to beat it, but I did eventually go back and beat it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you guys do the Cow the Pug? If you could only play one sport, what sport would you play?
I don't think so.
For that
I think
okay.
Yeah, I think we said that one for you.
Yeah, if you could only play one sport, what sport would you play? And the catch is you can't play any other sport than the one you choose.
Dev is choosing cricket.
I mean, you got it. You got to. Cricket is it's a gentleman's sport.
Got to get in that European ice hockey.
Absolutely. Oh, curling.
Ice soccer.
Let's do curling. Let's make that
Curling's
happen.
good.
Awesome. Curling's awesome.
It's fun to watch. Those people are intense, man. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing?
It's so cool.
I wish somebody could sweep my house like those dudes sweep. I need you to come over, man.
Can you just come clean us up?
These dudes are scrubbing. Okay.
Like, let's get down and get these baseboards the way you do that curling thing. Come on. I mean, the answer is basketball.
I was going to say basketball.
Second
for sure.
thought. Not even a second thought.
Of course, that's the answer.
I'm hooping all day long.
Yeah.
Basketball is life. The rest is just details.
It's intriguing. I mean, I don't really play any sports anymore, so like I can kind of pick anything.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the answer is probably football because like the most sport that I do is I do go out in the yard from time to time and chuck it around with Jack. He likes to like run routes and stuff, which is fun. It's very coachable. And I would hate to just lose all that at this point, right? Like if I was going back in my life, the answer would probably golf, but I haven't golfed in years. So, you know, like those are all games and stuff at this point. So like I've already left golf, but I would hate to lose that. So I'll probably do that.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'd love to have a basketball goal at the house. I'd love to get some hoops up every day, but I don't really have the room for it.
Understandable. I wish we had like there was a one of my neighbors had a hoop and we go out there and play every now and again, but the HOA made him get rid of it. So now we have no hoops,
bullshit.
and it makes me very sad.
Yeah, when I've had it like at my old house when I started PSVG, at my first house I had a pretty big driveway and we had a hoop and I would just play even by myself. I would just go out there at nights and shoot. I do miss that. I'm probably several pounds heavier because of that. Because I would just go out and just put up some shots for an hour or two. It's therapeutic.
That was always a dream of mine to have a hoop.
Yeah.
But can't hear. So Delvin, your answer was also basketball?
That was boxing. That was about putting these fools out.
Yeah, what's your sport, Delvin? Is
Of course.
Hands.
It's hoops or it's boxing? Basketball? Okay.
Horses?
Makes sense. Horses.
It's basketball. Basketball. Yeah, hoops.
Got a hoop.
I'm not getting a pit no more. No, I'm hitting days is over with.
Smart.
Horses, stop.
See some of these, man. You see like these I follow like several like fight
Does bowling
hashtags.
count as a sport?
Yeah. Bowling is a sport.
Sure.
Does it count as
it's
a sport?
pastime as far as I'm
It's not
concerned.
Monopoly.
It's like baseball. Baseball's not a sport.
Definitely a sport.
Yeah.
You pick bowling. That's the most you answer.
That does feel like
that's the hard thing. I love bowling.
We need to change gold coin to I'm gonna start calling them like Butterworth. It's just Butterworth's original.
Because bowling, I can I won't get tired of bowling. I can just bowl all day. Like that's fine. Like bowling's fun. I love bowling.
I used to be pretty good at bowling in high school. We used to go out every weekend and just bowl until like 3 a.m. And I haven't bowled in years. My wife and I went bowling, I think last year, and we sucked. We were terrible. Like 5 frames in, I was like, I never want to do this ever again. Like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to quit right now. How could we get you into some chicken nuggets and French fries now? Like, let's get you into this and let's get out of here. Like, we are not meant to be here anymore. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was out of my damn mind. I shouldn't have done this.
I bowled not too long ago at one of the kids' birthday parties. Fine. So bold. But that's
bowling
definitely
is really
never
fun.
The answer. It's okay. It's not really fun. You're lying to
Bowling
yourself.
would be significantly down my list.
Yeah. Much like Detective Pikachu, you again choose the mediocre.
Like significantly down. Like frisbee would be higher than bowling.
Nah, bowling's still fun.
I'd rather throw frisbees.
No, bowling's fun. No, I picked basketball, but bowling is also high on my list.
At least you're in air conditioning. That helps. Arcades.
Yeah. Okay. Beer, yes. Fort Giraffe says, how has a video game had an unforeseen effect on your life? For example, when it came out, he tried Crypt of the Necrodancer. He looked for mods on Steam and found a character skin pack. He was curious and looked them up, and that's how he found the animated music videos for some Mystery Skull songs. He loved their stuff instantly, put them on iHeartRadio, and got a playlist of a bunch of artists that he also liked, and a bunch of new ones that he found and also liked. So it's currently the single biggest influence to his current music playlist. So is there anything that's had that kind of effect on your life? Any game that's just unforeseen sent you down a rabbit hole of something else? It's a tough question.
That's a good question.
It's a good question. Trying to think. Anything that's just like,
Let me tell you about this game called Detective Pikachu.
Oh my
gosh.
Because I like this game, I have been harassed and berated, and I will not stand for it.
This injustice will not stand,
This
man.
game has ruined my life. It's ruined my life. I've lost friends, family, associates,
Respect, dignity.
respect. I don't think I ever had either one of those things. But if I did, it's gone now. Oh, that's a great question.
Like, I wish I could say that I've played like what are those games? They're not walking sims, but they're very like depth, dealing with like mental anguish and things of that nature. Oh my god, what is the name of it? There's one game where like you have superpowers, like it was two
Finch?
kids or whatnot. Not Edith Finch. It was two
Brothers?
kids, not brothers. It's 'cause I don't play these games. I can't think of the damn name.
You're talking about damn, what the name of the game? I know you're talking about though. The Don't Not games.
Yeah, Don't Nod. Yeah.
Life is Strange.
Life
Tell
is
me why?
Strange type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me why. Like, I wish I could say I played those games because I know they deal with some other stuff and it has some profound impact. But I don't play games that are deep. I play games that are stupid. So can't think of anything that's had an effect.
When this came in, the profound part sent me in a different direction. I wasn't really thinking of like the music. When it comes to music, I've had plenty of games that have sent me down a path of finding new music. It's one of my favorite things about games. Listen to the radio channels, open world games, Forza, finding things like that. Even Guitar Hero, I found so much music that I love. One of my favorite bands of all time was the Gaslight Anthem that I found like 5 years too late. I found because of Guitar Hero. Never heard them before. They had like huge hits that I don't listen to the radio. They never crossed my existence. I found them in Guitar Hero and I went back and listened to them and I love them. One of my favorite bands. But like the profound impact on an emotional level, the answer that I was preparing for this before I have read the entire question was like, I'm fairly certain that the way that I play games and the games that I play them for escape, and I escape stressful situations. So I can only imagine the amount of games that have helped me get through this. But because I play them to escape, I don't associate those games with helping me get through those periods because I wasn't thinking about those periods because of those games, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like I was playing them to not dwell on what was going through my brain. Kind of like how I want to get into Cyberpunk this week and forget everything that happened for a few days. Like, yeah, it's kind of like my blank out time. It's like, you know, I'm not thinking about the place that I was or what I was doing and playing video games because quite frankly, I'm usually playing video games to not think about those things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I cannot think of anything, quite honestly.
Yeah, this is a hard question. Like, just I'm trying to think of a game like fundamentally changed me. I can think of moments of me playing games and it got me through things. Like, you know, I remember being like when Delvin was born, I was like heavy. Like when he was young, I was like heavy in the Mass Effect. Like he would I would play it so much, and he would sit next to me while I'm playing it. When he was a baby, I think he was like, he could be like what, 3, 4 years old. And I remember just sitting there playing Mass Effect, and he was just sitting next to me. And I kind of think subconsciously, all those years of him watching me play video games is what got him into video games.
Yeah.
So it had an unforeseen effect on his life.
Yeah, because, you know, as a kid, they always watched me play video games, and they would come sit next to me.
They emulate what their parents do.
They want to do
especially
what you do. Now is it?
say especially sons. I think they definitely emulate what their dads are doing. I know Jack.
Mm-hmm.
You guys didn't see, like, he set up like this whole squirrel thing with like his statue and his card and everything, and he's setting these things up in his room because that's what Dad does in the basement.
Yeah.
You know, it's very cute, very like laugh and feel very loved to see that like rubbed off on him.
1000%.
What's up, Dev?
I'm just looking.
Dev's looking around like he's
stuff.
seeing ghosts. He's like,
I'm looking at like all my toys, all of my stuff.
you look scared as hell of the corner in your room. Like what we were saying, you're like, like, oh shit, what's over there?
That's I'm hella sick, deep in thought.
Run, Dev! Don't let him get you.
You know, look, I would just get up and run. There wouldn't be no looking. I'm just going. Like there's no thought. You see me running, it's on. I'm gone.
It's on. Follow.
That reminds me of that terrible horrible what is Unfriended, where everybody was on the voice call and stuff like that. The video
I like
call
that one.
and people were just dying. That was so old.
Never seen it.
I think that was it. It was Unfriended, right? That was it.
Well, there's a couple like that. Unfriended was one of them for sure. It was like the Skype horror where friends would call each other and stuff. There's Host where they're all on a call together. I like Host more, but Unfriended was pretty good. It came out to like, oh, it's like your mediocre horror movie. And I watched it and I was like, this is pretty neat. Like it's novel. It's doing its own thing. It's entertaining. It's scary. It's pretty good.
Now you make me want to watch it again.
Better than Insidious 5. Insidious 5 sucks. Everybody, if you didn't listen to Decade of Horror, don't watch Insidious the Red Door. It's terrible.
Damn.
Actually, if you really like horror, watch it and tell me that I'm wrong. I kind of want somebody to be like, you've got this all wrong, Donnie. This is why it's great.
Absolutely not.
Because I watched it and I was like, this is god awful. Like even for The Conjuring, you know, like even for Insidious, like this is low. Like this is low. Come on, guys. This is really bad. And I'm like watching whole scenes where like Patrick Wilson's a great actor who's done this a lot. He's got a lot of great hits. And I'm like, why did he just say it like that? Why? Like, oh, that's terrible. Who wrote this? Who directed this? And I looked it up. He directed it. I was like, oh no.
You shouldn't direct yourself.
Yeah, like he did it himself. He did it to himself.
Damn.
You shouldn't be trusted alone, sir.
It's bad. It's like my Grown Ups 2 of horror movies. It's like my new bar for bad.
Oh.
I watched Texas Chainsaw 2 and I found that more entertaining than Insidious the Red Door.
Wow.
And that movie's something. That movie's an experience.
I thought of something. World
Yes.
of Warcraft had an unintended effect of me having a lot of World of Warcraft books.
Okay.
I have
There
at
you go.
least
It's a great one.
30 novels because there's a lot of like World of Warcraft novels. I just fell in love with the lore and found out there were books, and I've bought a lot of them. So, yeah,
There you go.
I like
That's a good
stories.
answer.
Nice.
Next question. Matthew Dawson says, if somebody was looking to get into the Resident Evil games, where would be a good starting point?
The remakes. It's never been easier. For sure.
Yeah.
You
Which one?
start with 2 or
start
4?
with part 2.
You know 2?
Start with 2.
I'll go 4.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong, but yeah, pick one, 2 or 4. I think that's probably the easiest thing is just pick one of those 2.
Yeah.
And play those. The stories are connected, but like are independent of each other. You can play one or the other in any order you want. I think 4 is the more modern game, even though the 2 remake is definitely modern, but 4 is like a lot of other action games you've played before. So if you're brand new, you've never played anything, but you've played action linear, if you've played like Sony games, start with 4. It's going to be a lot like what you've seen, and you can play that. And if you really dig it, then go back. Delvin, what's your favorite? 2?
2 is my favorite. What depends on what you kind of want to experience.
3 was my favorite. Growing up, Nemesis was my Resident Evil game. I don't think it holds up as well in the remakes. So like my favorite would be 4 than 2 than 3 probably, I think.
How about this? Let's go a different route. What about 7?
Yeah, no, that's good.
Because it's a whole different perspective.
Sure.
It's almost a standalone story.
It is.
And it's actually really scary.
Yeah, that didn't even come to mind when you said it, but that's good. When I first played it the first time, I just wasn't like super enamored with 7. Like I liked it, don't get me wrong, and I'm not even really trying to tear it down. I don't know, maybe the hype got the best of me or whatever. I just thought it was good. I was like, okay, it's a Resident Evil game. That's really my takeaway. But the funny thing was, then I played 8, right? Like then I went to 8 and I was like, this isn't it. And and after playing all the other ones of the years in 5 and 6 and all that, time has allowed me to appreciate 7 more than I originally did. And I think I came around to like the hype and how excited people were for 7 at the time. I think I actually got there because I've played it twice now and it's like, it's been pretty excellent. It's the scariest of the bunch for sure, which I appreciate more today than I did when it released. That's a good call, Delvin.
Just a fun Halloween game to play because it's creepy.
Yeah, no, it's a good call.
DLC and stuff too.
Yeah. That's one that I look back and I'm like, I'm glad I don't review things, because had I been like a reviewer trying to do all that, I think I would look back with a regret on my 7 impression, because I think at the time I would have been like, Resident Evil 7 is a 7. I would have done something like that, and like now I'm like, nah, it's kind of like a 9 though. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I
really didn't like 8. Like 8 went a long way for me because 8 was kind of a big letdown. I would have been like 8's a 7, but 7's a 9.
Yeah. I feel like once you leave the mansion in 8, it kind of falls apart. The castle. Once you get out of there, it's like, all right.
That's kind of when I really, And you're like, actually, you're reading me like a book. That's kind of when I was like, this isn't it.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get out of there, you're like, all right. The rest of you people aren't as compelling as the chick I was with earlier.
Yeah, and like that intro and all that is really fun, and like there's some scare moment. You're like, this is great, and you're right. And then you kind of get out, and you're like, oh, okay, never mind.
All right. Here's this guy who's like the homicidal guy. I make traps. All right, fuck off. I don't care about you. Like, bring back the hot tall chick. You ain't it.
D-Life says Resident Evil 7 was the best horror game I've ever played. You're right. It's the closest to a horror movie. That's for sure. I think I came to appreciate that over the years. I think when I first played it, I was like, this is so derivative of these other works. And then it just took me a while to come around. I'm like, yeah, but it's still awesome though.
It is.
Like I'm glad we have it.
VR is terrifying. Like it's really terrifying playing it in VR.
Yeah, I took it for a spin as well in VR, and it is, it's really good.
I'm like, nope, not
That's a good call. I'm telling you, when the question was asked, I didn't even think of 7. I didn't even think of the new ones. I literally went immediately to the remakes. I was like, of course, play 2 of the best games ever made. 7's a good call. Good job.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Dev. Yeah. He left, he came back, he was like pulling cables, and now we're just looking at his chair. Those ghosts that he was scared of earlier got him.
Might have got him to conjure.
Like whatever he was looking at in the side of the room has apparently snatched our dude. He's just we got Dev's chair. So I'll read the next question, and the last question comes from Kyle the Pug, and he says, "What's an underrated game that nobody even thinks about playing for couch night, but yet the game is super fun to play?" For Kyle, it was Time Splitters Future Perfect and the rest of the series, because not only is it an FPS shooter, but you can use other weapons such as bricks and baseball bats.
I don't know if these are like
underrated.
The ones that come to my mind,
couch co-op games.
I don't think they're underrated. Cause like WWE 2K is fun to play couch co-op with. The AEW game is fun to play couch co-op with.
I think it's interesting that you went right to like wrestling games. I didn't even think of like sports games like that, but I mean, like, all those multiplayer games, there's a ton of those. You could like Madden and all kinds of things. I didn't go there. I was going to like party games. Like I was thinking, I mean, you're right. Like the things I was thinking about like aren't underrated. Like Rock Band isn't underrated. It was a huge smashing success. So
yeah, like Mortal Kombat. It's not underrated. Like, those are things that come to my mind. Like you're playing against somebody.
I've got one for you, but again, I'll let you be the judge on whether or not you think it's underrated. The thing that came to mind for me was Nintendo Land.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite Wii U games People made fun of it when they showed it at E3 because it wasn't like the cool super game that people wanted. But like, the hell if that game wasn't a ton of fun. My kids and I have played like when we crack open the Wii U these days, a lot of the time it's for us to play Nintendo Land. Like of all the great games that we have, a lot of them have come to Switch. We play them on Switch, but we keep going back to the Wii U because of Nintendo Land. It was a really like just there's no experience like it. Having that like asymmetrical gameplay with Mario Chase Me and the Luigi like the mansion game, you're trying to scare everybody and capture them with the ghosts and stuff. Like it does things that like you can't do outside of that co-op setting. That's really unique.
Agree.
Yeah.
That's a great one. That's a great choice. Yeah.
I was thinking Jackbox, but like Jackbox, I don't think is underrated. I think people love Jackbox for that very reason. That's why they're into it.
Yeah, that one. New Super Mario U.
Yeah, I don't think that one's underrated either. That's a really fun co-op game, though.
Yes, it is.
It's a shame we can't do like couch co-op Splatoon, because that would be a blast.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. You could do split screen on Wii U. They had like I think it was a battle mode where you could split screen fight each other. It was kind of terrible. Do you remember that?
I vaguely remember that.
The thing that I remember about that most, if you've never seen it, if our listeners never seen it, maybe they don't listen to Shaq, is back then they didn't have the gyro in the Pro controller. It had no gyro. So Splatoon was made to be played on gyro. So Nintendo released like a whole press release on how to play this local co-op with gyro. And it was, I kid you not, this is exactly what they did. They did a press release on how you can use rubber bands to rubber band a Wiimote to your Pro controller, and that you would sync your Wiimote as the pointer, and then you'd use a Pro controller for the sticks. And they had this shit rubber band together, two different controllers. Like this was how they were like, here's how you should play this game. And it is one of that sticks in my mind forever. It is one of the most bizarre things I've seen a video game corporation ever do. We're talking about these people being
that is so weird,
like anti-consumer and games and live service and making products. Like Nintendo is a company that literally was like, oh, you got some rubber bands in a drawer? Go grab that shit and rubber band this shit together, and that's how you'll play. Like make your own controller. Like you're like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it is. If you've never seen it, like Google it. Like I think they had like a YouTube tutorial on how to do it. Like there's images and pictures, and like, they had a whole thing on how to do this. Just so you could play somebody else in local co-op Splatoon.
That's crazy. I'm gonna head out. Just some unforeseen stuff. So
okay,
gotta go. You
Peace,
guys
man.
have a good night.
Be good.
Fun. Miss y'all.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace.
But yeah, that tangent aside, it's still not better than Nintendo Land. It's really good.
Yeah, I think that's the answer. I can't think of anything else. Double Dragon.
That's pretty good. I would call that underrated, and it's a good call.
Yeah, I love Double Dragon.
I was thinking like racing games, like kart racers, like Crash Team Racing. Maybe a lot of people haven't given that one a try. I think it's the better of that generation kart racer. Oh, Little Big Planet karting was dope. Mod Nation Racers was dope.
Yeah. Yo, those were really good.
Yeah, those were really good. I like those a lot. I wish we'd get another Little Big Planet karting. I hate that like PlayStation doesn't have a karting game. I thought that was a good place for it. Like instead of PlayStation All Stars, they should have did PlayStation Kart.
That would have worked.
Yeah, that would have been better.
They're too busy making live games.
Well, they like live service. Tell them to get on that. And maybe the new twist.
That would have been the live service game to make.
Maybe the new Twisted Metal will have like some characters. Like maybe Kratos will come to Twisted Metal or something. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Like they've definitely got characters to do a kart racer.
They have a ton of characters now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think of any co-op games I'm not thinking about. Couch co-op, that is.
Yeah.
Shredder's Revenge, but that's not underrated.
No. Can you play Animal Crossing co-op? Like at the same time?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that in Animal Crossing.
Yeah. That's a Rebecca question.
Hmm. All right. Well, we tried.
Yes, we tried. I think that's about it.
Yeah. There's no like Mario Party like game, is there? Like a clone?
A clone?
Yeah, like something
know.
that
Is
does
Mario
Mario
Party
Party,
like-
but not, because I'm not gonna say Mario Party's underrated. I can't say that in good faith. Everybody knows Mario Party. I mean, they were kind of mediocre for a while, so hang on. There was a lot of releases that were just kind of like the same old, because there's like 12 of them. So actually, I'll say this. I got one more. Mario Party Superstars is like the Mario Party greatest hits game. It's on Switch. I don't know if everybody got that one, but like if you haven't, that's the one to get. Don't get the number ones. Don't get the other one. Like get that one. It has like all the best things from all the games, like all kind of in one package. I honestly think, yeah, everybody could just buy Mario Party Superstars and probably just play that for the next 10 years. Like just don't even pay attention to other Mario Party games. Like they're all going to be some sort of combination of whatever Mario Party Superstars is. Just get that one and play that one. That's the good one. Just do that.
Okay.
But that's definitely a lot of fun. Is Overcooked? Overcooked can't be underrated, right?
Yeah, it can. I don't think enough people played it. So yeah.
Okay. Oh, I have a great answer, but it's probably about to die soon. Did you ever play a game or ever hear about a game on Wii U called Affordable Space Adventures?
No, I have not. I've never heard of it.
So that is a weird, wild game where like everybody grabs the controller and everybody like makes a different function of the ship go. So it's like a I don't know, puzzle game, maybe a platformer where you're all in control of the spaceship and you have to guide it through like a level, but everybody's controlling a different thing on the ship. So like somebody does acceleration and somebody else turns and somebody else does defenses and somebody else does. So like you all are controlling this one ship at the same time.
Oh, this is a pretty looking game.
It was a wild, like it's a really unique concept. And on Wii U, it was really fun. And it was like one of their indie hits. And it never came to anything else. I think maybe because of the gamepad. I don't remember, but like it never was released on anything else that I'm aware of. I think you can only play it on Wii U.
Got good reviews too.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like
I've never heard of it.
That's an underrated one. But eShop's about to close. Nobody has a Wii U. Like that game is about to be potentially lost. Yeah, forever.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So if you're looking for a recommendation to get on your Wii U before the shop closed, make sure you have a copy of Affordable Space Adventures.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it this week on the PSVG podcast. Thank you for hanging out with myself, Dev, and Delvin as we talked over October games and our over-unders and Donnie's life at work. I appreciated the conversation, Delvin. It means a lot.
Oh, likewise, brother. Appreciate you.
Like I said, I don't have friend groups. I don't go out to watch games or golf or anything like that. Like you guys are my friend group. So it does mean a lot to be able to just hash things out with you.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Thanks. We'll be back next week. You can catch Delvin and I on Shack this Friday.
Back in a couple of days.
Well, that's true. Yeah, like it's just us. We're on a repeat at PSV. PSV is just us. I should start calling it like PDDG. Play Delvin Donnie games. But yeah, we'll be back for Shack in a couple days, and then we'll be back next week, probably with more Cyberpunk and more Tears of the Kingdom and more other stuff. As we get excited for all these games that are coming out. Detective Pikachu. Are you going to play Detective Pikachu before Mirage? What?
Probably not.
He said, yeah. I'm like, what?
Because I'm thinking about it. I want a physical version of Detective Pikachu, and I think I'm getting Mirage downloaded, so I'll probably end up playing Mirage like tomorrow morning, really early tomorrow morning.
I'm excited. I'm eager to hear more people that I know play the game in our Discord and like Sean and our friends. Because the thing that like bums me out the most is that I don't like read reviews, but I skimmed through a couple earlier today when it like first broke. It didn't seem like anybody was harping on the story. And that's kind of what I thought the whole point of like making a smaller game was to like really get into the story.
Oh, that's what I want.
And everybody was just like, it's old Assassin's Creed, and like it has a story, but it's not that particularly compelling, and it's pretty like it seemed to be pretty generic or paint by numbers. Like
Everything I've heard is what I want.
And that thing sucks. They're like if it is that bothers me because Valhalla's story was fucking bonkers. And like I wanted the crazy, and this is like it doesn't sound like this is that at all. I was like,
a story-based short Assassin's Creed is what I wanted. Like give me a 10, 15-hour Assassin's Creed.
Well, I think you will have, it has a story. I think you didn't play Valhalla a lot.
I played it, but I ain't playing nowhere near to the extent you played it. I played I think I want to say 20 hours of it.
So the Valhalla, this might be that I was really into Valhalla. I think for those that are really into Valhalla and really did the story and like saw it through, Basim's character and story is fucking bonkers. Like it's all over the place. Like it's honestly hard to follow, but like it's, like when you get it, like you get it. And we're talking time travel and all kinds of stuff. I kind of expected to see like some that fleshed out in this. And even though it's a prequel, I still expected to see more of that. And I haven't seen anything of that of any of the reviews, not even a hinting of it. They're like, yeah, it's Basim, and you see what he did before. And he's like, it's an assassin story. I was like, oh, really? That's it?
Oh,
so
I will see.
Maybe they're saving it. Maybe, spoilers. Maybe there's something else there.
I'm rooting for it.
But we'll find out, and I look forward to hearing from you whenever it happens.
Definitely.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this week. We'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching, Kooplings. Go play some video games.